All right, what's up, guys? Sorry so late tonight. Trying to work with everybody's schedule. So I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a heads up what this interview is about. This is first off, we didn't bring this information out there. Yes, I'd known about it when it happened, but I thought the best way to do it was to look into it, go to the source of the people that said this, and talk to them about it. Regardless of what anybody thinks, it's fair for Summer to look into everything that's been talked about. So I'm going to bring up our guest tonight. Now, this was on 2 different occasions that this happened, 2 different dates. Multiple people saw it during the daytime. Be very clear about that. So let's just bear with us. We're going to do this. We're going to try to go through it as smoothly as possible. But I'm going to welcome our first guest. She was one of that was helping with the remodeling on the Wells property for it was the mandatory things that DCS wanted done on the Wells property. So I'll introduce her and let her tell you kind of what day we're talking about and everything. You can go ahead there if you like.
Okay.
A little bit. You're cracking it, or it's kind of breaking up a little bit.
I thought you was doing this and I'll send you a message. But you're clear now.
Who, I was doing it too?
You said it in the beginning, but you're clear now.
Okay, good. I will turn this. I'm gonna turn my camera off. That'll save bandwidth. Okay, so again, these are on 2 separate dates, and there's somebody else that the person, they were all up there at the same. Go ahead and tell them what date this was.
Okay, August the 2nd. There was the plane in the house.
Oh gosh.
The alarm went off. They seen somebody in the woods. One girl facing the woods. One went down the driveway. Candace jumped in her car. And
hold on. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna have to refresh this. They can't hear us. Hold on one second. I'm gonna refresh this, and if we should still all be here. If it kicks you out, just come back in. I don't understand why it's doing that. Okay, does that sound a little better, everybody? Is that better?
How about now?
Very good, very clear.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
There
were 3 women went to the Wells home. They was doing some upstairs of the home. The driveway alarm went off. Somebody was one people went. Candace jumped in her car, and the third person, the mother of the 2 girls,
you're gonna have to go out and come back in, Pamela.
Okay.
It's yours, I think now. I think it was this. I think it's where mine wasn't refreshed. All right, give us a second. This happens, and it's always when you got to do something important. Bear with us. It'll get fixed. It's important information, and sorry it's so late. Like I said, we have to work with everybody's schedule. See if that's better. All right, you sound better
now.
Let's see what they say. Go ahead and talk.
Is it better, y'all?
That's better.
That sounds
better,
oh God.
Okay, August the 3rd, there's 3 women there. Somebody was in the woods. They stopped driveway on the night. The other 2 went down the driveway. Candace jumped in her vehicle. He also go down the driveway.
We're gonna do it this way. Look, we're gonna do it this way. We can't hear you. We'll do it this way. Call my phone, and we'll put you on speaker, and we'll do it better that way.
Okay.
Okay, because then we'll start over from the beginning. All right, guys.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. It always happens when some. Okay, there we go. Okie dokie.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, now it's good. Now we can do. This is what we'll do. We had to go old school with it, so we'll start over at the beginning, because so everybody can hear.
Okay, make sure they can hear.
Can y'all hear that?
They can.
They can. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Okay, August the 2nd, there was 3 women went to the wells. I call the girls, okay, but they're grown women. They went to the wells, they cleaned upstairs, cleaned up very good. But anyway, someone was in the woods, they heard the driveway alarm go off. 2 people went down the driveway, one chased the guy through the woods screaming, "I'm gonna kill you, you SOB," okay? Candace jumped in her vehicle. About that time, the girl that was in the woods, Jody Sue, pulled up into the driveway, started screaming for Candace and blowing her horn.
All right, and so let me stop you right there. So first off, so we're just telling of what the day that the other creator talked about first. This is multiple days. She's not talking about the day that they witnessed it. We will have an interview with those people too. We just have to work with everybody's schedule. She's just telling you what these. So okay.
Okay, so she saw with her own eyes Jody Sue's son coming out of the woods. Jody Sue, when she said something to them, Jody Sue said no, he was just checking my mailbox. She said he wasn't checking the mailbox. I chased him through the woods. He come out of the woods. Okay, then Candace said no, he's just checking her mailbox. He's all right. So nothing was ever said other than between us about it.
Right.
So then I would say some of y'all are in the All About Summer group. Youngs will know the exact date that this happened. The day we took the wood, we posted pictures in that group. Okay, we was up there. Me, my son-in-law, and my daughter. Me and my daughter was in the house with Candace. My son-in-law was unloading the wood, stacking it up. He seen a person in the woods, white t-shirt, blue jeans. I got a picture sent to me tonight of Jody Sue's son.
Here, I'm going to pull that up right now. Can he just say, is you around him?
Come here. Okay, when I showed you that picture of Jody Sue's son, what did you say about the person in the woods? Oh, that was him.
That's him? That's who you saw that day in the woods. Okay.
Yeah, he was just right down at the bottom of the hill and everything else. I mean, I could see him plain as day.
Okay.
Okay. So, now we know it was Jody Sue's son that day.
Right.
And then see us by his build because she didn't get to see his face like her old man did, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see that picture?
But he took off through the woods behind Grandma's camper because you know that hill right there is straight down.
Right.
And so he run that way. Sis and them went the front way of the camper and went towards the dog trail. And I jumped in my truck. There was no vehicles around, okay?
Okay.
Now, is this suspicious? Yes. Are we accusing him of anything? No. When I did question Candace the next time about it, she told me, well, he would have come up the driveway. I said, I thought he was a little kid. I didn't know he was a grown-ass man at this time, right?
Right.
I'm thinking it's Jody Sue's son's a kid. And I'm like, 16, 17 years old. And
Right.
so I'm like, Candace, I said, would you think that would be Jody Sue's son? I said, since they seen him come out of the woods, and that was down there that day, just being nosy, trying to find out who was up here. And she said no, said he would walk up the driveway. Well, he didn't walk up the driveway. And we've got two people.
Two different occasions, yeah.
And my son-in-law that has verified it was her son in those woods.
Right, and this is the thing. Nobody's this is what the main point of this is, everybody that's saying in the chat, well, I don't understand, is that we're just saying it happened. It was brought up by another creator, but what's been strange has been the I guess the response to this information coming out. It's not that we're placing guilt or blame or for anything that happened to Summer on this person. That's not even what it was talked to. It's just saying it happened.
And just because it happened, we're not saying, okay, so it happened August 2nd. So that's a month and a half after Summer goes missing.
And then 2 weeks after that.
2 weeks after that.
Weeks later.
So if it happened on those two occasions, how many more times did it happen that he was not witnessed? We don't know for a fact that he did any other times. We are just saying it could have happened. And we are also saying it could have happened before Summer went missing. We're not stating that as fact. We're just saying it could have happened.
The reason that the alarms at the bottom of the driveway were put up because people were creeping around that property and were witnessed a lot doing it. Well, now
and the person that seen them on the second cam bought the first set of cameras for Candace and Dawn that was put up at that house. They bought those.
Okay. So see, that's...
And then another lady that helped her with washing the kids' toys, laundry, and all this, either she put them up or her husband put them up. Okay, I forget which one she told me put them up.
Well, we can also say, and you can attest to this. You know, I told him Dawn took down these cameras too, after they were put up. The ones on the trees and stuff, the trail cams and stuff. They kept getting taken to him, and he wouldn't put them up. Now that was, I know at that point in time, was there cameras put up at that time or not?
No, they was put up right after that.
Okay, because of this.
From my understanding, because of people trespassing on the property.
All right, good. And so
everybody was hollering they wasn't people trespassing, and I've even made several comments on Facebook. Yes, we know for a fact people was trespassing on that property because we seen them with our own eyes.
Exactly. And I guess it was, in like a case point of view, it's called hearsay till police prove it or say it's fact. But if you're a witness of it, your son-in-law is a witness of it. The 3 other women are witnesses to it. Now, what the problem is the response that was given the day that this information came out. It was said, that they were a bunch of tweakers up there that are saying this, were chasing people that weren't there through the woods with a knife. Why come out and say that about people that were 100% not tweakers running around chasing people? That's what brought red flags up with everybody. Probably wouldn't. It's probably wouldn't. Nobody even said nothing if.
Right. It probably would have all blown over by now.
If it was
okay, he was on the property, so be it. But the fact that she was trying to discredit people.
Yeah, trying to discredit people.
They was saying something about it not being reported until around November.
Yeah, December.
On another creator's channel.
Yeah.
Okay, that creator is the one that got them to call it in. The only reason that it wasn't called in is they figured maybe Candace reported it, but it was because of Candace's own reaction, more or less, I guess you would say agreeing with Jody Sue that he was checking the mailbox and more or less defending him in a way, I guess you would call it.
Well,
because of the fact, she's saying it's okay, and she's trying to say he didn't, she didn't see him come out of the woods, but he come out of the woods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she's just going along with Jody Sue, but that is the same very day that Jody Sue told these people the footprints was real. Okay, the scream was real. Told them about the vehicle.
This was the first time that
yes,
that was the first time that that information was talked about, was then right there at the bottom of that driveway.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so this was a very, so the person, everybody said, who's the person talking? She was actually kind of in charge of doing the repairs up there, or the, not remodeling, I guess, the renovations that that DCS was wanting in order to get the boys back. That's the bare minimum. They said, you're going to have to do that at least to get the house. And they were trying to help with that. Now, these people were up there. They're risking their safety. If somebody, if there was somebody up there wanting to cause people harm, you're up there in the middle of it. So, but they're, why? So everybody's alert already, looking around and paying attention, because you're in a place where something, it's been reported something very bad happened. A child went missing. So you're already on high alert. So these people, I remember being told about this when it happened, and because we didn't actually go up on that property till the end of August, I think.
End of August, beginning of September, before y'all even come up on that property.
Right. So that's when I'd heard about it then. And we didn't talk about it because
it wasn't
our information to talk about. So I didn't put it, I didn't talk about it. But since it was brought out to the public, why not go to the source and find out? Now, here's one of the sources right here that we're talking to. For Summer's sake, we're going to look into it. Now, for people that, are in question, she was on the, it's allegedly Jody Sue was at the bottom of that property and was, honking the horn. Now make this clear too. I don't know what to call you right now on the phone. Let's say guest. Yeah.
They know who I am. We're good.
Right.
Everybody on there knows who I am.
Okay, so, but make it clear what side of the road. Jody Sue's property is on the opposite road. Well, I guess Andy's property, opposite side of Ben Hill. Right. Where did the person, allegedly her son, come out of the woods? On the well side.
On the well side of the property, he come out of the woods. He was not checking the mailbox. He came out of the woods.
So, and then we'll go to this. So what was it that was told to Candace, and what was her response?
When what I said to her, or what?
Either both. You can talk until.
Well, that day, Jody Sue was saying that he was checking her mailbox, and the person told him, no, he was not checking the mailbox. I watched him come out of the woods. And then Candace agreed with Jody Sue. Then when I brought it up to Candace, after the fact, Candace told me, no, he wouldn't be down there in the woods. He'd just walk up the driveway. I said, well, I didn't know if it was just trying to be nosy to see who was up here or what. And I left it alone after that.
Right, because as a mother of a missing child, it would be her responsibility. I don't care who it is. If it's the neighbor, or who, I'm calling and reporting that to the police that somebody's up here creeping around my property a month and a half after. Now, the reason that being is it's been reported, people that do things, what if, we'll go back to the scene of it, and that they will go and try to see what's going on to make sure they're, maybe not on the, not on the radar, or even if you want to be to go into a little deeper and speculate, you could say, well, maybe they thought they dropped something, maybe they thought they did this to creep around. So I'm going to report that as a parent of a missing child. Now we weren't saying anything, we're just reporting that this happened a month after, and that's who it was. And Candace's response was, well, he would just walk up the driveway. No, and didn't report it. Well, when the people found out that she didn't report it, then they reported it. Okay. Now I don't know, I'm not 100% on this, but I had heard, so don't take this as fact, I heard that they had interviewed both those children multiple times through this. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, and that's the police's job to do that. But when that information comes out and people are being called tweakers that are not, and people are being called trying to be discredited, the very first day after it came out, I went on a panel and said, no, be careful. Just because he was up there, you can't say he's guilty of this. You can't place blame. Took up for that same night. Jody Sue had went out and totally tried to bash me. Why the response was for that, I don't understand. And then there was a video put out that said it happened at nighttime, and they didn't know what they're talking about. This did not happen at nighttime.
No, both times was broad daylight.
Correct.
It wasn't even dusk dark. It was broad middle of the day daylight.
So they're asking the woods where at on the Wells property. So I'm going to pull this picture up right quick, and I will help. If you can see it there, you can help me show them exactly where. Let me do this.
And I also just want to point out, we don't know what he was doing up there. We don't know why he was there. We don't know if he was sent over there to spy, like somebody just said in the comments. We don't know if he himself was just over there wandering around for no reason. We don't know
if he's bored and just
right.
Yeah.
We don't know. And I don't want to speculate and say, oh, well, obviously this is what he was doing. I'm not going to, we don't want to do that.
That's what I was just now saying.
We just know that he was there. That's it.
We're not saying he done anything wrong. I mean, he could just be a nosy neighbor trying to find out who was up there. But there again, I'll agree with Candace on that. If that was the case, why didn't he walk up the driveway?
Right.
If he was so used to going to that home, why are you sneaking through the woods on two separate occasions?
Right.
Exactly.
Now, to me, that is suspicious. Okay, that's out of the norm. But
here, we'll do it this way. I'll pull it up.
I don't know that he's done anything wrong, so I'm not saying he's got anything to do with Summer being missing.
Right.
I'm saying he's messing around where he shouldn't be.
Exactly.
Okay. That's fair. 100% fair to say.
Without permission.
Without permission. But if he didn't have to, why not just walk up the driveway? If you were allowed to just frequent that, because look, we made it very clear too that at this point in time when Candace was asked about Jody Sue, they got along great. She had nothing bad to say about her.
No, she didn't. And she was down there talking to her that day per them, okay?
Right.
And I talk to these people every single day. But she was down there talking to her, asking her if she needed anything. She told them all about the vehicle that pulled in the driveway, hearing the door, hearing the scream, verifying the footprints was really true, the whole 50 yards. But
right. So
Candace said she needed anything, holler at her. And then the whole time, she's always talked good about her, and then all of a sudden she flips script.
Well, look, and let's be very clear. This is nothing to do with covering for the Wells, because everybody that's talking right here got done kind of crappy by them, and everybody knows that Candace has acted very strange, and as time went on, people picked up on things about her not, she wouldn't talk about things, she didn't take things seriously, wasn't appreciative of what any search group did.
KB, that's what we're saying. He could have been just hanging out in the woods. We're just saying he was on somebody else's property after a child went missing, and he didn't have permission to be there.
Don't argue with most of them, because what they're going to try to do is just keep trying to get you to say the same thing.
Yeah.
They know good and well what we're doing. They're just trying to cause, because there is a group of people that feel like that he shouldn't even be looked into at all. Why is that?
Well,
everybody should
be looked into. Everybody should be looked into. I don't care if they're 15 years old.
Yeah.
Green County, 20 minutes up the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a juvenile arrested for a double murder, a grandmother and a 7-year-old child.
Right.
We've got a missing person. Be 6 years Thanksgiving. Nobody, no arrest.
That's right.
20 minutes up the road.
So that's the thing, you know, it's not unheard of, but that's not the case here. This guy is not a minor. He is a grown man, and he's over the age of 18. You can even say, oh, they're just coming out of their teenage years, but he's been out of them for, he's got to be 20.
If he's not already.
If he's not already.
We don't know when his birthday is.
But if he's welcome on that property, why are you sneaking around through the woods?
Right.
Right.
And it's not.
And it seems at that time he would have been welcome on that property from the way that Candace reacted.
Exactly.
And so you would have thought if he was even if he was just being nosy, he could have walked up the driveway and
just started talking to people.
Struck up a
That's
conversation.
it. And that's what I'm saying. So why are you sneaking through the woods? But even his own mother said he played with the boys. He went up to Candace's all the time, and the boys come over there. On her own videos, the first 16 that she made. Okay?
Right.
So the boys was always, she said the girls didn't, but the boys did. The girls wasn't allowed to run from house to house.
Right.
But being a mountain girl,
Right.
nah.
Well,
Right.
No doubt in my mind that them girls was all over in mountains.
Yeah.
well, Sweet Tea, now this is thing, now we're going to talk about that too. Now it was reported in December, and they have been handling, because I believe that they have been, these people have been in question and been questioned multiple times, even up to very recently. So, and we're not saying, you know, it is what it is. We're just trying to put it out because people, it's not fair that somebody can come out and say, well, those people were tweakers chasing around people that didn't exist in the woods with knives. And then that be, you know, that's all that's said about it, because that's definitely not the case here.
Chasing people through the woods.
Yeah.
That's what Jody Sue said, and it was dark time. My big fat ass was 230 pounds last year, too. I ain't.
What is it?
Oh, shit. Okay, I guess everybody heard that.
Right. It's freaking this is private property. It's posted. But if he had permission to go, why are you creeping around? That's the thing. Now look, I got this picture of the aerial view of the Wells house. Can you help me to point it out? Can you see my mouse here?
Hold on.
So the wood pile was over here near the shed. I'll just go ahead and say that. That's where her son-in-law, who was working on the property. Now you're talking about the little shed, right?
Yes, a little shed right down from where the door is.
Yeah, so somewhere right here.
You know where we set up, because you was the fire day, we had it set up to saw wood.
Yeah, where the sawhorses were.
That pile was straight out across from it.
Yeah, I've got a little marker there. If you pull up, you can probably see it. It might be delayed on the
I
YouTube.
saw it
Okay, so where did he see him at?
down off that. Okay, you know how that state bank is right there. It goes straight down.
Right here, going past the front door?
Grandma's camper. You know Grandma's camper.
Okay.
Okay, if you come up towards the wood pile from Grandma's camper,
Yeah.
he was right in that area in those woods, and you know you can see all the way through there right there.
That close or down at the bottom of the hill, like down off the bank?
He was about halfway, Bobby, between the bottom of the bank. He was about halfway between the bottom of the bank and the top when he went and seen it.
So you're talking about like back
and
here?
He ran back down towards the road behind Grandma's camper.
Oh, so you're back down towards like beach. Oh, okay. You're talking about like back down towards Ben Hill.
Yes.
Okay.
He ran back down towards Ben Hill.
So
Where the road, and they took off and went down towards the dog trail.
And they kind of.
Where the hell he went, nobody knows.
Wow. Okay.
He was gone. So he had to, it had to stay familiar with those woods and that area and that road, because he literally just was gone.
All right. Now, on the other day, I think when the other people saw, where did they see him at?
I don't know where they originally seen him. All I know is she chased him through the woods.
Well, this is where I thought was down here near this bus trail.
Now I do know that he come out of the woods. He crossed the driveway because the alarm went off, and he come out of the woods on the other side of the driveway.
Okay.
And she watched him come out of the woods. Okay.
So the way that it was explained to us by the other person who witnessed that day was that he came from around the bus trail area, and he came out of the woods right there near the bus trail and onto the driveway, and that it kept making the alarm go off.
Look, that's a good question. People are saying could August the 2nd, and then 2 weeks after that is the date. So people just said, could that campsite be somewhere that was hung out where somebody, possibly, we don't know, that's speculation. I don't know. I'm just telling you that so if he was around in the woods, I mean, if you're traveling them woods and you know how to go, I guess, traverse through it. Yeah, that would have been over this way on the other side of Simpson Road. This right here is not as far. This gap of woods right here. Hold on. I'll mark it with a measured distance here. This little.
Yeah, they're not that long.
That's not that far. It looks like, but that, like I said, this right here is 772 feet.
But that side of where the campsite was a drop off.
Yeah, that's
basically
a drop off. But if you can get up there,
right,
some other route that I didn't know of, then I guess, I mean, it's all possible. If you can traverse those woods and just disappear in them like that, then, I mean, you've probably known them and you've probably been in them a lot. So, I mean, regardless, that's all speculation. The point of this is they saw this happen. They talked about, they said, that is who that is. I saw him with my eyes. He saw that picture. Look, when I showed the picture earlier to him, he didn't even skip a beat. Yes. That's who it is. And
it's the first time. That's the reason I asked you if you had a picture, because I've never seen what her son looked like to show him.
Well, he doesn't even follow social media, does he?
No.
That's what I thought. Because, I mean, when I met him, he just didn't seem like somebody
who got blocked from everything because he didn't cut them no slack, and so none of the groups sort of liked him. So,
well,
yeah, he got blocked from everything because he just cussed them out. He didn't care. Okay.
Right.
But in the beginning, he followed it some, but I don't even think. Are you in any groups at all anymore? No. He's way up from all home. But no, I know some people that is in the chat is in the All About Summer group.
Yeah.
And they can pull the exact date.
What's up, Jog QQ?
That it happened when we was there, because there is a picture of my truck, the wood in my truck, and the wood on the ground.
Right. So look, I want to get you to help me clear something up real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn my camera on for this too, because this is gonna be funny.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So am I a Sherfie?
Oh,
Hell no.
am I a Sharpie?
No.
So there's this individual
Oh,
who is going around saying, my name is Nick Sherfie. They even went to the extreme of making a name that was a Sherfie and commenting saying, hey, Nick, that looks like
it was your wife who is me, apparently.
Oh, that was supposed to be.
So I left a comment on our own videos, apparently.
it was August 15th.
The second time?
Yep.
There you go.
Say that date
13
again.
days apart.
What was the date again?
August 15th.
August 15th, August 2nd, and August 15th were these
And the only reason I can remember the date of the 2nd is I went up there on the 3rd, and it is my deceased mother's birthday, to see what all they needed.
Yeah. Look, I do. I come in. They came out and talked about it. Squall and Scott H were on panel when this came out and talked about it. I felt it was my responsibility when people were to say, yes, that is. I verified it because I did hear it. That's what I heard happen. And back went around the same time in August. You know,
y'all know about it. The PIs knows about it. Dennis knows about it. The other 3 people knows about it. Dawn knows about it.
Right. And now this is the question too. Somebody asked me, and this was a good comment earlier. They said, why is it that all these things that you've been able to talk about, footprints, all that, how come Dawn or Candace never talked about them or verified them? We don't know that. Was it because they were told not to? I don't think so. Because, I mean, but I don't understand. That is strange. I agree 100%. Why didn't they ever talk about the things that mattered?
When I said something about the footprints to Candace, she laid on to me that she hadn't heard about it.
Same to us.
Same thing to us.
And that was in November when I asked him. Those had been out for a long time.
And then I will tell you that.
So you're saying Jody Sue told her about them that day?
Yes.
Right.
And told her about the scream?
Yes.
And
because see, I went and questioned them on that when she was telling me about all that. I said, did she say those footprints was real? And she went and said, yes. Said Jody Sue said the footprints was real. She heard the scream. She heard the vehicle, and she heard the vehicle door.
Now, I have the messages, too, to contradict what that Jody Sue did. Then went and told us that they weren't real. I have the messages between, because this was very early on when I asked. She said, those footprints aren't real. I said, so that property owner isn't credible? And she said, no, he is. Well, maybe the police just told me that to throw me off. Well, I have those messages. So why do this contradicting? Why? That's what's strange about it. When you bring up stuff that people can verify happened, why the immediate try to discredit? Just say the awfulest things. That's not what we were. People are just talking about. It's a missing 5. If you care about this little girl, then you want everything looked at.
And that's the only reason that I was trying to do anything was for these children.
Right. And he could look, and people, he could have legitimately even been up there saying, well, I can go look for something. They maybe been looking the woods. Hell, I don't know. But when you run down the bottom and you're screaming at somebody, and then, Jody Sue's at the bottom honking the horn.
Show where Jody Sue's property is in regards to where the Wells property is.
Oh,
just to refresh everybody's memory.
Okay. To refresh everybody's memory of where her property is in reference to the Wells property, this would be theirs. Up here, this area. Okay, to get up here, this is the Wells Drive. Well, let me do this better. Right here is where one of the let me zoom in here. This is where the buildings on the property are. This is the Wells driveway. Right. Let me see if I can get the bottom of it to show. Okay, right here. Right here is where the Wells driveway ends. You go up to this property through a little cutout somewhere up here. You go up the road a little bit, and there's a little cut that cuts up to her property right here. So let me put a marker here, see if I can get a blue there. We'll do it that way. So it's very close. So I mean, it's not like I don't know. It's been blown out of proportion. People bring out the information to talk about. Let's look into it. I even did a short the other day. I said, it's important not to place guilt, but it's also don't let anybody scare you to look into everything and give, if this is what you want to do and you want to look into these true crime things, why is it such a problem to when something like that is brought up to research it? It's not. And Summer deserves it. So regardless of any of these people that want to come over here and say that he, because of certain issues or it doesn't matter about health problems. It doesn't matter about this. Doesn't matter. You're not exempt. Nobody's exempt from it. And if I was the neighbor that lived across there, And you know, and even if me being up there and trying to help search, if they want to look into me, so be it.
Right. I want to say, Lady R said, so her mailbox is definitely not near the Wells driveway alarm. Just saying. I want to comment on that and say, even the Wells mailbox is not near their driveway alarm.
That's true. That driveway alarm is pretty. Here, let's show that. That driveway alarm doesn't go off till
you're almost in the curve.
Till you're almost up to. Okay. So here's the entrance to the driveway right here. It didn't go off till you're about halfway up here. So you're up in there on that property pretty far. It's not like you were just walking around the road.
Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
Constant Sue?
Mm-hmm.
No. There's nothing been said about no ambulance showing up there anytime that any of us was there.
Yeah, and this is true. Nobody is. So I hate hearing this too. These other people are victims, and they're not. Summer is a victim. That's it. Now, when a parent goes missing, or when a parent's child goes missing, if they are cleared, then they are victims of it too, because somebody took their children. And until it's proven otherwise, I guess the parents and the family would be victims of a crime. But you know, this case is so crazy. It's like, well, you can look at this person. I got attacked for calling out Sherfy Jr. And he has freaking, like, how can you go over? You're victimizing him. Come on now. It's public record, and he has crimes against minors charges. I mean, it's insane. It's because if it's not specifically targeted at Dawn and Candace, then it doesn't work in this case. There's so much more. Everybody around this property and around that little girl it's strange. Just own up to it. It's strange. And people were taking up for SOs that that are around this property, been friends with multiple ones. Let's talk about Randy Haas, whatever you want to say. Where's his connection to all this? Jody Sue and Andy, Frank Light, same. So why is that okay? That's a question. You know what? I'm sorry. It is what it is. Squall, Scott H, do you want to come up here? You can if you want. I'll put the link in the chat. All right. Because I want to get y'all's opinion on it too. And John Q, if you're in here, if you want to come up, you can too.
I just told Squall to go up because we've been messaging each other.
Cool.
She's got a question for me anyway. No, she said, I asked Cam to ask you a question.
Let me see if I can find it.
I can't. I'm sorry. I haven't been looking at the chat. I was ranting.
I've been looking here and there, but I've missed a lot. So
let me see if I can find it.
Good job. See, there's John Q.
I told her to go up.
Yeah, you guys come up. I put the link in the chat. I don't have it. Let me pin it for you guys.
I'm trying to find what she wanted to know, but no, she's gonna do
what
that.
Adrian Watkins says, what do I think about the phone? I think a lot about the phone. I think that should have been turned over too immediately.
Okay, she said, would you please ask the guests how and when I met the Wells, please?
Who said that?
She didn't meet them till after Summer went missing.
Is Squall coming up on here?
And let me see. She answered my message back. No, she's read it, but she ain't messaged me back. Squall didn't meet them until after Summer went missing, around the same time all of us did.
Yeah.
Squall was going up there trying to help. She cleaned outside. She took some cleaners. She took some sprays. She's got her grandbaby.
look, and this is the only person. If you want to talk about people are saying dealers would have took some. Now the only people that deal in like taking people and trafficking them is like cartel, that kind of stuff. Now, if you're just dealing with normal people, I don't know many from my
But there
past
ain't
that.
no cartel gonna take no kid for no drug debt.
Well, I'm saying like cartels into traffic. Now, that's the only way the cartel
the ones
would.
that traffics, you're right.
That's like the only way that could be in question. Now, if this is a normal just drug dealer or something, they don't even want to take care of most of their own children. Why would they take another one? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand that. I've never even heard. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There ain't some creep out here that's the majority or the minority that is into something sick, and there's stuff they do like that. I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm just saying, like, to owe a debt, why would you? I don't know. They're gonna take it out your butt if you owe them money. I mean, beat your hind end. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Anyway, all right. So she ain't gonna come up here.
She has her grandbaby.
No, she's got her grandbaby.
All right. Scott's still in here. Scott, you want to come up here? Talk about it. I want to get y'all's insight. I'd like to get in.
Cam,
Yeah.
if anybody's got any questions, most of them's already in my messenger. They can message me.
You don't want your name out? Do you want your name out there?
I don't care. They all know who I am anyway. I guarantee. How many people in chat to the one knows who I am?
There's Scott H right there. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. What's up, dude?
Hey, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Dealing with this, if you've heard. Anyway,
Thank you, guest, for coming up and verifying that information. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For doing
No problem at all. I mean, it's like this. Like I've told everybody all along. Anything I say, I ain't got no lies to tell. And I've always got people that can back up anything I say because they was there.
That's good.
Well, you have cleared up a whole lot of things. But first, let's start with where all this started the other day when Squall invited me on her panel and we got talking about the creepers in the woods. Cam verified that. Squall said that she knew eyewitnesses that had seen it. Cam verified that. Now you're on here. The other gentleman that you had just a few minutes ago have verified it. You have proven, in my eyes, that it was not at nighttime. So Jody Sue was wrong about him not being in the woods. Jody Sue was wrong about it being nighttime. Jody Sue was wrong about you guys being tweakers.
Yeah,
Jody Sue was wrong. If you can take what Fred Hill says with my community post last night, Jody Sue saying that there was never a pool up there. And I have a picture.
There was for 100%.
On May 2nd of 2021, 6 weeks before Summer disappeared.
Yep.
That a 19-year-old kid could very easily have fit in with Summer without question.
Right. Well,
so here are within less than a 24 to 36 hour period of time, not counting what Squall and I did and Cam the other day, we've proven there was a pool. We've proven that, well, we've proven there's a pool. Allegedly, by two eyewitnesses' accounts, yours and that gentleman, Andy or their son was on the property in broad daylight.
Five different people, because there was two different occasions this happened, and the other three ladies are going to be coming on to do a second interview to talk about that too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that then. We're just talking about right now.
Right.
Cam has talked to the other ladies because I can send him their number.
Yeah.
And so Cam knows it to be fact.
Yeah. I trust. They have no reason. This woman even went. I'm not sorry to catch. I'll let you continue just a minute, Scott. But I'll tell you this: the one when I told the other witnesses about what Jody Sue had said about them being tweakers and all this, she even went to the I guess to the distance to even say that look, yeah, one of my daughters way back a long time ago had some issues with addiction, like many people in fact, but that she's like that. She admitted that to even say, look, she changed her life and she was up here trying to help do something good. And she said, for that to even be thrown out there, I just felt that it was pretty honorable that they would say, look, you know what? We're not saying we're perfect and we didn't have a past years and years ago, but this is what we saw.
And she said, just like Eric guest right now on the phone said, that they could pass a drug test anytime.
Right? Yeah.
Anytime, day or night.
Well, I'll let you go ahead.
I don't even smoke weed. Did I used to? Yeah, I used to smoke some weed in my younger days.
But it's neither here nor there. To go and say it was at nighttime,
just to try to discredit
people is wrong. And that's what brings up the red flags. And I'll go ahead, Scott. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're fine. This is your show.
No, go ahead.
Another one is the footprint. The footprint things.
Hold on, what's that, Pam?
Tell you how to get a hold of me, but I'm gonna get my butt off here. Okay. 5 o'clock comes our way.
Thank you so much, and I'll let me and Scott will continue this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming up, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that. I had a phone over here, us up here.
So now we go back to the footprints. So Jody Sue said the footprints were real, and then she tells you that the footprints weren't real, and you have the messages to prove that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much misinformation have we seen come from Jody Sue Brown in 24 to 36 hours with this interview that Cam just did?
Right.
No tweakers, no middle of the night. The son was on the property. The son is an adult. There was a pool, and she spread misinformation about whether there was or was not footprints.
Right.
Now, let me ask you, with that much misinformation coming out of one person, you've got to ask yourself, why?
Right.
Who would do that if you're interested in finding a missing 5-year-old child that was your neighbor? Or would you do that to try to throw everyone off of what they really need to be looking at?
So then that leads you to say, so when law enforcement says the scream is unfounded, because I even said forever, I said, how can they say 3 people didn't hear what they hear? Well, if they know now that somebody is not telling truths, they try to say it in a nice way. Now, why that brings that up, why they said that.
Well, and I mentioned that before a long time ago when I very first started my YouTube channel. Hawkins County knows when they go to Beach Creek that they're going to be dealing with, and no offense, Cam, you're a recovered one, I'm a recovered one. There's a bunch of alcoholics, drug addicts, everybody's kin to each other, and they're not going to get nothing but lies and BS because everybody covers for everybody,
right?
Regardless. And it has been that way for decades upon decades upon decades. My dad's about 80 years old, fixing to be 80 years old. And it was that way when he was a kid.
Right. And everyone's related. And
you still have the same families down there.
Yep.
Everybody's just older now.
And married, and now the different last names change, but they're still that family, the main 2 families down there.
They all get married. They have kids. They have a big fight on Thanksgiving. Everybody gets divorced and marries each other's exes. and then they have kids. So you've got grandkids, kids, great grandkids, aunts, uncles, cousins. spread all over them hollers. And
Right.
this is what you end up getting.
Exactly.
Is every adult, every grown adult should be questioned down there, because there's not been one single adult from down there that has come out and give nothing but the truth from day one. Now, Jody Sue Brown claims that she has, and Jody Sue Brown is getting dismantled. Her little sweater of lies, we're tugging on that yarn, and it's turning into just a pile of yarn. It's no longer going to be a sweater of lies anymore.
Right.
Jody Sue herself has said multiple times, we even have a message of her saying it to us since the beginning of this case, that she holds the missing piece.
Yeah, I hold the missing piece of the puzzle. Well, if that's so,
why haven't you
told law enforcement about it? Or if you have, that's in the speaking in riddles, and it's too much. And the main thing that really bothered me was after going and trying to take up for her son first. I said, "Look, you can't do that." I did that for that right before I came over on that panel, and we talked. And then that night went on there and put out I want your opinion on this. So, do creators get paid to go on other ones' panels?
Oh yeah, apparently I'm in charge of all that.
Oh, you were the one that didn't pay us then.
Dang it, I want my money, Scott.
Yeah. Well, I do my bookkeeping on Thursday night, so I'll have the checks out to you by noon tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
We are everybody that doesn't have a sense of humor.
People that don't have a sense of humor. That is straight humor, just a joke.
Yeah. For the ones that don't know my dry humor, my deadpan attack on things, and that's kind of it. But this is the reality on the past couple of live streams of Jody and her puppet Tiffany Marie. They now think that because of did you happen to see my video where I walked around my property to show how much the growth, the underbrush and stuff was starting to grow up already?
No, but I was out on Fields Road. I don't know what you're talking about. I was out on Fields Road, and it's already
okay.
Yeah,
I happen to have tattoos on my hands, and I've got a lot of tattoos, but these particular tattoos that we're referring to now are on my hands because I was pointing and showing people my black raspberry and blackberry bushes.
right.
Okay, Jody Sue thinks that Scotty Skulls, do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Okay, he has an artist that has a black bird drawn on his homepage or his avatar or whatever. Green Eyes also has a black bird on his YouTube or Facebook profile or something. Then they saw my black birds on my hands. So now me, Scott Skulls, and Green Eyes have had a conspiracy from the very beginning because we are right-wing QAnon people.
Oh, God.
And they're believing this.
So, oh, my Lord. Well, can you you were over there that whole time when I came over on Squall the other day. And this is to go against what Tiffany even said. Did I ever once come over there and say that she forced me to tell to do what was it how did they say it, to something a witness?
No.
I didn't force anybody to do anything. I went over there and actually said no. I said that I didn't tell that person then because I gave my word I wouldn't. And told the exact same thing as I said on that panel, even to the extreme of saying I got mad at Squall on Tiffany's and even said something. Is it true that me and you, Scott, have been we've not got along this whole time till just the other day? That's true. So why, what was it was said that that me and you were, I was lying about that on her panel, and that I just was coming over there hanging out, and we were just laughing about trying to what was it, the word that was used, trying to deflect or
Right,
to
deflect.
distract her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like, what would I be distracting you from? First of all,
That
I mean-
that was their goal, was to distract her stream. Yeah.
right. And that's not what it's about. That turned into, we were on a stream where people were brainstorm coming together. Good things over there were happening, and it intentionally came over and threw a wrench in it. Now I always got along with Tiffany, tried to speak like adults, and we worked things out. That I even tried that day, but it's like we can't. It shouldn't be this side and that side. It's a investigation for a 5-year-old missing
We should all
child.
be on the same side for her,
For her.
Summer.
Correct.
Summer's side.
And yes, we're going to not agree with each other,
Exactly.
but that doesn't mean to go to the extreme to make it a war
Right.
against that. Big thing. John Q was in here just a minute ago. Well, I went on panel with him. They're going to the better, and I'm glad about that. Will I go stick my neck out anymore to go over where I'm hated? Probably not. But I'm not going to say I won't. But I mean, it's stupid. We're getting to the to the meat of this by finding out people that have been trying to say this happened, or they'll say this happened to one person, then go to another person, say it didn't. What does that gain? What does that, help me, Scott, what I'm trying to say there? If you can follow with what I'm trying, I'm my mind's everywhere right now.
Oh, I was just looking at Cindy Zuniga calling me a piece of shit.
That's okay. Look, mods, get rid of people that are.
Oh, they are. They're on it.
They're on it. Okay, look, we're not having that here.
No.
Go over to somebody's panel that wants to listen to that shit.
See, here's the great thing. I go to sleep at night and I wake up and I don't think about nothing except what the next best thing I can do to help find Summer.
Right.
They go to bed. Tiffany Marie goes to bed. Jody Sue goes to bed. Cindy Zuniga goes to bed. And they wake up and the first thing they think about is me.
Same. I understand.
I own your heads. Own it. I own your head. I got it.
I haven't even conversed with White Boy Radio, and he does skits about me that, first of all, aren't even like. It's kind of sad to watch, but I sit back and I look at it like, dude, he got butthurt over something that he tried to push, and I went and we talked about it. It's not like we didn't talk about it and got to the point of it. And sorry he came out on the ladder, but now it's like, why these people make others their constant goal every day. One creator that we brought on our panel has 67 videos in her video. 60 of them which are about me,
Right.
and Allie.
Right.
So I mean, if you're in this, and then those same people say, quit putting Summer's name out there. Quit. Well, you're doing the same damn thing, but you're not putting out anything that's relevant.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, sorry, and that's not what we went off kind of track with that, but that's how this all started, by trying to put out something that, hey, look, yes, there was somebody trespassing up there on the Wells property. If he had permission and you're in the woods sneaking around, I don't know how that works. Is that trespassing then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because you're under I guess you're moving under a suspicious. I don't know how to word that, but yeah, I mean, if Candace says, oh, well, he could have come up the driveway, but he didn't, and you're creeping around, and what are you doing now? Then come to find out your mom's at the bottom honking. That's a distraction.
Right.
Honking and saying, hey, I'm just trying to tell you somebody's creeping in the woods. If you
Well, let's be clear on that. We're not the ones saying that was a distraction. The people who witnessed it happen said they felt like she was trying to cause a distraction.
yeah.
Right.
Why not drive to the top of the hill? You're in a vehicle. Why sit at the bottom and honk?
Right. Maybe the honk was a signal for her son to run.
You're right. Exactly.
And exactly, you pointed out something which you were going on with your guest there, so I was in chat there, but the thing that you said, and this is the very most important thing, because I've seen a lot of people say in chat, well, it was after Summer went missing, so I'm just going to dismiss all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So what about Jeannie and Mary? Are we just going to dismiss
Damn, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
what Dawn did just because it happened before? How do we know if on two different occasions, and apparently we've got 5 eyewitnesses that have seen this adult running around through the woods trespassing, to the extent that the Wells had to get an alarm system, which is the reason they got it, which means someone was creeping around in the woods prior to the point that the eyewitnesses saw him.
Yep.
And he was just continuing his behavior. Don't we always talk about how prior behavior equals future behavior?
That's right.
How do we know? Cam mentioned you. How do we know he wasn't going back to the scene of the crime? How do we know, allegedly, that Hunter wasn't lying when maybe the boys called Dawn and said, "Hey, Dawn, this creepy dude. Hey, Dad, this creepy dude's back in the woods again." And Dawn called Candace while she was sitting in the Walgreens parking lot and said there was a creeper on the property. How do we know that didn't happen?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's very possible. How do we know that maybe he prefers a variety of flavors?
We can go into this too. Was it ever put off, like when you were conversed with Jody Sue, that was it all ever made out like her kids were younger than what they are?
She said early on when she was coming on panel back when I was with True Crime Commentary, that her son was 19 at that point. Okay. Because when we offered her help and got her 4 nights hotel room away from there, because we all felt that she was in danger.
Yeah.
And I arranged for a safe house from a retired detective in law enforcement here that uses that safe house for battered women and children. She said it would only have to be for her and her daughter because her son was 19 and he decided that he was going to stay down there in Beach Creek. So they would only have to house her and her teenage daughter. I said, okay, great. So when I called this guy to get the referral for her, I said, it's going to be a lady with a teenage daughter, and
yeah.
So he would know what to tell the head person there at the safe house. But what did Jody Sue Brown do? She went right back down there to Beach Creek.
Yeah. Well, to go on that. She had messaged us, and we had reached out to her and just wanted to interview. Now, when we were down there at the end of August and was filming the trails up there, because we had heard about the scream. I guess now we know because of what was told at the bottom of that driveway.
And if you recall, the reason we learned about the scream was because Dawn talked about it on a phone call on a live stream.
Right. But we were told about it by people up there. So I said, when we were up there, I said, can we go over there and will she talk to us to talk about it? At that time, she said YouTubers had ruined her life. First of all, that was before anybody.
Right.
Okay. That's one. Two,
Yep.
She says, then there's, she was she messaged us back because she had talked to you guys, and she was from that motel. She said they're not wanting me on the internet. They're texting me, telling me they know where I'm standing. And I said, look, I don't know what to tell you. I said, I don't know. I got all those. And then she said that it got to where this is how it was portrayed. This is the reason I asked if it was ever, made out like they were younger. She said, I got to get this tiny human in bed for school. And I was like, well, she must have small children, because I didn't know at that time how old they were. And I went back and looked at that. That's why I was kind of asking you, because it was always, Don Sherford Sr. made it out like Junior was a little boy, and then they call, you know, her son his nickname, whatever it is. I always thought they were younger. That's the reason I asked that. But still, I mean, I'm glad you were here to. Nobody had messed with her unless it was over maybe something with Jackie Dobbs at a YouTube, but nobody had really heard from Jody Sue at that point when we were up there and asked about that. The other thing that was brought up at the bottom of that driveway was the vehicle that supposedly turned up the driveway. She saw the bar in the door, car door slam.
Right.
That's year. Well, we were listening. I went and listened to the news interview with her and her son, where they're talking about the scream, and she says we were all sitting there, me and my two kids, and we, you know, they were on hyper vigilant or whatever that word she said.
Hypervigilance, yeah.
Yeah, she said when we heard the scream, me and my son went out to investigate it to find out where it came from. I don't know if people are picking up what I'm saying. Like she said, so me, not all three of them, her and him went out. Then she says on that around 6 o'clock is when they heard it. It then was changed, you know, they to an earlier time that she heard that scream. But then on the interview, she says that I was on one side of the creek with the Wells boys. I was on one side, they were on the other, and we were looking. What I'm trying to say is I've seen so many conflicting, contradicting things being said, because if that
I've got another one for you. Do you remember the illustrious story of her hearing the gravel crunch underneath Dawn's hill and the plywood creek and all that?
Yep.
Wouldn't you have heard that big ass dog that was chained up that wasn't friends with nobody but you and your kid?
Right.
How could you hear a gravel crunch if that big old dog should have been barking if somebody was coming and peeping at your house?
Right.
We were told early on that dog was scary, as like they, you know, even the PIs, when they went up there, they said we had to sit in the vehicle for them to move that thing.
Right.
If people know that thing's up there, they ain't gonna go up there messing around that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things. And look, and like I said at the beginning of this, probably wouldn't been looked into as much as it is right now if it wasn't for the reaction to this information coming out.
And who always jumps first when the reaction, when news comes out?
That's right.
Right.
You always look at the one that starts, their palms start sweating.
That's right.
Yep.
I
mean, it's pretty obvious.
It is.
Pretty obvious.
And does that mean, and look, and before people start going this route, does that mean that the Wells and them didn't have any? Are they not guilty of the things that no, it doesn't. They're still, you know, before people, you're deflecting from them. No, I'm sure I know y'all know Scott's not.
Nope.
And look, and I've been very clear over the past few. How long has it been? We've been talking about. We called out, you know, as things went on, as we were up there. You know, people, when you first meet somebody, put this into as an example. When you first meet somebody, and they're going to put up that front at first. As months went on, they started showing some things that were very, and we witnessed them. And when Candace came on and started blatantly lying, we called them out.
And Cam and I are the kind of people that we always try to see the good in people.
We do. We try to do that.
Sometimes we try to continue to see the good in people until, you can't anymore.
Right.
And so we've been very vocal lately how
it's just that we try to give people a chance at first, but instead of benefit of the doubt. And that sometimes you can't do that, but I put myself in that situation. I wasn't always given the benefit of the doubt, and it wasn't fair, so I try to do that to other people. Now, does that bite me in the ass? So what? It's it is what it is, but at least I know I did the right thing. Now, we're looking into this. I will have to say, do I agree with everything Don has done? Hell no, I don't. And I've told Don about when he made that call to Mary and that joke, and people even question that. Do y'all think that he really? No, Don freaking thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I told him, I said that's in bad taste, Don. I said that was not good. told him that prior to doing it because he talked about it, and he said, "Well, we're gonna make a joke."
No.
Did he say, or was that something else he was talking
That
about?
was something else. I think he talked about doing it again. saying
Talked
that
about
they
doing
were-
stuff again because he was. That's all Don focused on was the sister stuff. He didn't care about anything else. Talked about that, so much because he, I was like, we couldn't get an answer when we're saying, hey, what about Summer? What about Summer? Well, you worried about the sisters all the time. And I said,
once the stuff with the sisters came out, that was Don's main focus.
that's right.
Right.
So, yeah. And it's, regardless, we took the heat from everything up there because we really wanted to help find her. And, you can't, and I guess the best practice would be, we've heard EquiSearch, so you got to have a good rapport with the family to find out things. Well, you got nowhere with them. You weren't finding out anything.
Not from Candace, especially.
Yeah, not from Candace, but yeah, that's true.
Right. Well, I understand, that why you did the things that you did. It's not necessarily the way that I would have done it.
Right. Thank you.
I like this side of you a lot better.
Right. I understand, and
right now you're going hard, and you're pulling no punches, and you're putting it out there the way that it needs to be put out there, especially at this time in the case when there's so much crap out there. We need to just cut through it, wheat and chaff.
That's right. And well, I'll tell you this too. Now, at the beginning, we were new to that when we first got into it, and I felt like I was, under some people's thumbs at a point in time, and I couldn't talk about things. And I still to that. I won't talk about certain things that unless because it is an investigation. There's certain things I haven't. But now stuff like this, when it comes out, I mean, it is what it is. Sorry, people don't want to accept it, but it is what it is. This is what happened. That's what people witness. Now, you can't go because you don't like the Wells and say that people that were up there trying to do something because they cared about those boys in summer that they're all just the same as them too. That's not fair. So I believe these people, and they were good people. They were just trying to do the right thing. I'll tell you, by the end of it, every single one of these people got screwed by the Wells.
And I don't believe any. Well, I know for a fact that none of them have contact with the Wells anymore.
Right, because Candace felt like that she could fire people that were volunteering. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just know that this right here was important. And why is it important? Because now that we can speak about it and we see the reactions and the deflection and calling people this, so like I brought up earlier when you were on here, John Q, I'll check that. Can you check that email from him? I'll tell you this. So now it is I guess a narrative that's being pushed that I am a Sherfy and my name is Nick Sherfy go ahead.
Well, for people who don't know who Nick Sherfy is, because I'm sure a lot of people don't, that's Don Sherfy Sr.'s son and Don Sherfy Jr.'s brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And my wife, obviously.
You better be careful because Green Eyes also thinks I'm Scott Harper, who is married to Stephanie Harper, who is the nurse at the Sullivan County Jail.
Oh my gosh.
I heard that yesterday.
You heard it? I heard it.
Well, you better watch out. I got connections up there with my wife in the Sullivan County Jail there. as well as running the payroll for YouTube and owning Tucker Drywall.
Oh, we're not locals too, by the way. So I'm sure you're not either because you're where you're at and where we're not locals. I was told that.
Geologist Jody figured that out because of the rock formations in my yard.
Geologist Jody.
She did. She said there's only two rock formations like that anywhere around here. So you mean to tell me Jody Sue has walked all over down there and knows every rock outcropping that there is?
Yes.
On private property now.
Well, she knows everything.
She's a
about
surveyor
everybody's
too. She
property.
knows everything about everyone's property.
Right. That is true, Cam. I forgot about that. She's a surveyor. She has maps, framed maps in her closet of every piece of property that she surveyed. Forgot about that.
Oh gosh.
Look, I tried. I really tried, and I want to make sure to make this very clear. We really tried. I didn't. There's been things, and I know everybody has seen them that's over here. You might not. Well, I don't care if the ones don't agree with this, but it's true. There's been many things that have been questioned. I haven't even talked about it. The things that have been said about the feet being washed off in the creek. Come on now. And then the interview with what was the other one? We heard the one last night about about her daughter saying about Andy. First of all, who calls their ex the Voldemort? Was that already a plan to cover? Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, was that already a name that were like a screen name? I guess I don't know. I always found that weird question.
Right.
Trying to think of the other things that I went over in my members only last night. We went over what was the other thing about that she had brought up that was so questionable that changed? Is a big one.
What now?
The thing that Josie talked about, the big one we talked about on the members only, the that she had changed the story about.
You're talking about the flowers in the purse.
Oh yeah, the flowers in the purse. So first off, it was they were in the building, the cabin up there, the cabin up there, and they were all in there, and so they were all no TVs on, nothing. Well, then it was she was down at the bottom on the driveway with her purse working on flowers. I've things that I've known, and I've been like, but I was just waiting to see where it went. I'm like, well, maybe it was just, to try to think into it. Well, maybe it was 10 minutes before they were up here and then she's down here doing that, but it's not. It's hours changing.
Yeah.
How is that not, how is that?
Another thing, she talked about the red truck, and she said multiple times that she didn't see a red truck that day. And then also after another neighbor who had a yard sale who came out very early on and talked about how she had a yard sale and Candace had brought Summer and the boys up there and they were buying Candace bows and clothes for school.
Summer.
Buying Summer clothes
Mm-hmm.
and clothes for school. She also talked about, that same neighbor talked about how she had saw a red truck it had a darker skinned 30-something-year-old man. Well, then Jody Sue gave an
exact recap.
She gave a very detailed explanation of what that person looked like, and she just said that they drove by her, but she knew where he had tattoos located, what color his hair was. But she said she hasn't seen a red truck.
There you go with the tattoo expert, because remember, she said they weren't prison tattoos, they weren't this or that. But my tattoos, I forgot to add that into it. It seems, since they're birds mean they use bird for, that's the same as time. So if you've done your bird, that's prison where you've done your time. So there I'm
So, dude, don't worry about it. My damn self wore a freaking Deadpool shirt riding a unicorn. I got hell forever, so don't feel
bad. It's just amazing that people can even begin to believe anything that she can says. And she is I've said this before, either because we all know Tiffany is self-centered as could be. Tiffany's not for anybody but Tiffany. So Tiffany is hanging on by a thread because she thinks that she's trying to get, or she thinks she's going to get information from Jody Sue, or it's too late in the game and she has to support her now because she's got so much egg all over her face. Yeah. She can't see the filter through the filter she uses on her camera.
So this too. Did you see this comment I put up there? That's another thing too. Yeah, her family members.
Oh, the cover for her mom's truck, right? Yep.
Yeah, the red Toyota. There's that, and which it was also reported it was her brother that was driving it. I don't know how. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but that's was something that I heard. Why did she move off that hill right after?
Yeah.
See what else?
Did you all happen to see Crystal's Crime Time?
Yes.
The other day, Crystal's Crime Time had a screenshot of the eviction notice that Andy's mom gave to Jody Sue.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Wow, I didn't see that part.
Yep, to be out of there by, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it was September 6th of 2021.
Right.
So what was Jody Sue really interested in the middle of October when the Reward Fund Marathon was going on?
Right.
Money.
Right.
Because her ass was getting booted out on September 6th. And Andy was gone.
Yep.
Andy had been gone before Summer went missing.
True. And then, I was going to agree with you on the pool. I wondered where that pool was because we never saw it on the Wells property. I just wanted to throw that in there. And then what do you think about the third search being on Fields Road Fields Road, Bell Road, where then Polly also owns property?
Yep.
Absolutely. And then, I believe, I don't know if you know about this. I'm not going to put this out there as fact, but have they been questioning? Has she been saying that they questioned her son even up to very recently?
Well, somebody put a chat in a chat. It was a comment. I think I should have copy and pasted the thing. It was like a short novel about all the inconsistencies and stuff. And that was one of the questions that she asked. Why, out of everybody that's involved, including Candace and Dawn, according to Jody Sue, she gets questioned very regularly by the feds.
Yeah.
So why is she the only one out of Dudley, out of Jose, out of Candace, Dawn, Grandis, Andy, Fred Hill, Frank Light? Do I need to go on, or am I making my point?
You're making.
Why is she the only one that's getting questioned repeatedly?
True.
Why is she the only one that is putting out so much misinformation?
True.
Why is she the only one that is so extremely triggered when Chris McDonough's unedited video comes out with Hunter and they mention Andy? And when me and Squall and I had our little first chat the other day. But actually, she was triggered when Squall and Chicken on a Stick had the live before that. Now, you've got to ask questions. Why? Why is that? Jody Sue, where are your and Andy's customer list?
Well,
we need those people. We need to look into those people.
Right.
Because those people, if you condone the type of people like Randy Haas, Tony Hammonds, and Frank Light to come to your property and use your internet, considering the records that they've got.
Yep.
Right.
And you look at the criminal records that both of you have for maintaining a dwelling where narcotics are sold, Schedule II narcotics, not weed.
Yeah.
Schedule II narcotics.
Methamphetamine.
That's methamphetamines. That's Oxycontin. That's fentanyl. That's Percocet. That's all those big ones right there.
Yep.
So those customers, what are those customers capable of? Because we know there's a whole lot more sex offenders SCX offenders out there than they are RSOs out there. The SOs that haven't been caught are the ones that we need to be looking into.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Exactly.
So how do we know? How do we know that we don't need to be looking at your customer list? Because we already know your associations up there are registered.
Right. Talk about look. I'll pull this picture up of Mr. Hammonds real quick too, and that. So I don't know if it's the same one, but I'm guessing it is the one that got arrested for the 12-year-old.
That's him.
That's him. That's the same one that was out there. So
Yep.
it's what I thought too. So I'll pull this up, and so you
Verified by somebody that knows when they used to go all drinking together, Andy and Jody Sue and Frank Light and Tony Hammonds, when they all went to the Hog Wild Saloon in Kingsport on Friday nights and drank all the time.
Yeah. Slow down.
Chat.
Oh, the chat. Okay. Yeah. True. And then there was something. About the. I just had it at the tip of my tongue. Damn it.
Sorry.
What was it that? So, okay, talking about that list of people. She had sent me a message early on. This is before I ever knew about this. Then Crystal confirmed this on that podcast. Jody Sue sent me a message. She said, everybody thinks I'm a CI, confidential informant.
Mm-hmm.
That was on October 20.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
October 12th, I think, maybe. Don't quote me. She's going to find. She sent that message. Everybody thinks I'm a CI, but I'm not. She confirming these things on herself before it's even talked about. Well, then when it came out, we saw the reaction to that. When Crystal was asking questions in the chat when Jody Sue, I mean, she flipped out on her about that stuff. And that, so regardless, CI or not, okay, you can say that's good for the, but you are hanging out where you got people in your driveway using the internet. When Randy Haas has family on Lone Star.
Right.
They've been there. So why is he down there?
Right.
So then that goes into the question. You say everybody's tied to put this together. So, Randy Haas was a former deputy for Sullivan County.
Right.
His charges came from being responsible of children, kind of like in Boy Scouts, under the care of the sheriff's department. Is when he caught his charges for doing those, and mind you, they're all exploitation of a minor charge.
Of a minor, yeah.
Yeah, and who also worked at Sullivan County back as a reserve officer, Don Sherfy Sr.
Don Sherfy Sr.
Who's best friends with Frank Light? Don Sherfy's brother, Daniel Sherfy.
Yep.
Then that leaves the question: who all three has charges of exploitation of a minor?
Yep.
Frank Light, Haas, and Junior Sherfy Jr. That's all in a web. Who's related? Who's tied to those people? Jody Sue.
Yep.
Now, as far as I know, you can say Don is tied to them through his stepdad's sister, where Sherfy his stays with his girlfriend. Well, by his words, only on the weekends.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just saying, how is it okay now to dismiss? Now you're saying she's exempt from being talked about. These people because there's a slew of them that say that Josie's exempt, but now that you know that, she's in the middle of that.
Yep.
That's okay. So
condoning it the whole time,
right?
Enabling it the whole time,
right?
And didn't she mention on one of her streams that after Andy got out of jail, they were going to try to work things out and everything, and he said he was going to quit smoking, and he went right straight back to smoking, and his porn addiction, she noticed, started leaning more towards younger and younger women.
That's what was said. Yeah,
which was really bothered her.
Guys, I slapped the chat down for you. That's true. Yeah, very, very true. That was just talked about recently, wasn't it?
Now, in her son's Facebook post in 2018, I believe the date was 2018 on his Facebook page.
I've got them already. I screenshot them.
Okay.
I got him.
2018, this is 2022. Well, in 2021, he was 19, so he would have been 16 in 2018.
Thank you, Brandy.
And he's got a picture on there of a kid crying with a tear running down his face with the words across the bottom of the picture. I just learned that people in porn don't really love each other.
Yeah, look, let's go ahead. Let me
At 16 years old, he's talking about porn, posting it on his public Facebook as a minor.
Yep.
And like you said, everybody that comes around there, Haas, Frank Light, we got Don Sherfy Jr. up in there in the mix with them.
Yep.
Now we've got Andy, that his proclivity is starting to include younger girls. And we've got a 16-year-old minor talking about pornography on his Facebook.
Right. So, guys, yeah,
To me, that sounds like a hotbed of the red light district.
Yes. Look here, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this here. Can y'all see that?
There you go. You got it.
Okay, so
go to his main page and look at his name.
Oh,
right here, it's called Dick Tart.
Dick Tart. Yep. There you go.
Yeah, I can't see it on here. I don't think.
I'm gonna mute out for a second.
Right here.
Use the restroom right quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right, we'll go over this a little bit. I'll wait for him. Hold on. Yeah, we'll wait for him, but I'll go to the one that he's talking about real quick. We're gonna go over all these here in a minute.
There's a bunch.
Yeah. No, it'll probably get blocked here, man. It's okay. I screenshot him if it does.
But once again, just to reiterate, I know a lot of people do not want people talking about this young boy.
Here we go.
This young man, but he is a legal adult.
He is an adult. Just found out people in porn don't love each other. This is the first one. Look, it is what it is. And people did try to give the benefit of the doubt. We haven't talked about it, but by reaction, you come out and you make up false lies about us when we tried to say, hey, look, we're going to be fair about this. Then you call the people up there tweakers that did that. I'm going to look into it a lot more then.
Right. When
because
you
why?
come out
Yeah.
and you are
attacking
people, then things need to be looked at.
Adrian Watkins, guys, if I haven't seen you in the chat, I am so sorry. You've seen that we have really been going over a lot through this, and I've got a lot more that we're going to keep covering. Thank you, Brandy. You're amazing. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, all of our mods. I know it's been rough. I slowed down the chat for you.
We will try to have an open panel one night or in the next couple of days where anybody who has anything
tomorrow,
to add,
maybe.
Yeah. Where anybody who has anything to add or any questions, y'all can come up. I think that'd be good.
Look, and I'm not. Let me see what this says. This is funny. These people. I mean,
there you go. That's the one I was talking about. Yep.
Yeah. It's so. Oh, she's in here. That's fine. We're going to talk about it. I don't know if she is or not. I just saw somebody reference her. So that was the first one. I showed that picture of the one. I don't know why it went all the way back. It does that on this computer. Hold on 1 second. We'll find the other. Okay, this one here.
Who was in here?
I think Jody Sue was.
I think she's streaming this possibly.
That should be all right.
That's okay. Let her stream us. That's good because this is truth. Sorry, it's truth. Everything that we've said right now, you can go verify it. Go do your own research.
Yep.
And you will see everything we're saying is very true. This right here, this video, it is so weird, and I don't know how to really talk about it, but it says real life isn't even Segoy, whatever that means. But it has at the beginning, Dad, I want to go to the anime world. First off. Now let's watch. Then it has Biden with a meth pipe. Yeah, I don't know. Strange. Let's see what else it says. On a Yahoo Hunter song, whatever that means. Hunter song. What is that? When was this put? December 6, 2021. So right after. I noticed another thing on this. That even though this one might be privated a little bit, there's June. There's nothing for June every other month. So that was removed. June of 2021. So, yeah, let's go. Here's April 2020. Let's go up a little bit more. June 17th, 2020. Now we'll get into 2021. Hold on. Let me find it. Okay, here's May 2021. So we got April, March, November, March, April, May, September 6th is then the next thing.
Hey, stop right there on that one, Cam.
Okay.
The cats.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody told me that there was 2 pet graves, recent graves where pets had been buried on Jody Sue's ground.
That was, yeah, I remember when that was talked about because they were wanting people to go up there and search.
Okay, read this post right here.
Okay. Rest in peace, Charlie and Kibby. You were my best friends. I love you and I'll miss you. Just wish you both were with me for longer.
Now, have you ever had 2 pets die on the exact same day?
No.
Never. That's yeah.
How's that happen?
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless the dog ate them. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, it could be. I had a pit boxer one time that got into my chickens and wore them out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, still that, and they were saying go search because there was fresh graves up there, and people were like, well, you need to go up there and look into that. And we told the people that probably could be that. I don't know if besides law enforcement, if anybody else was allowed to go up there and look into it. I don't know if EquiSearch did. I have no idea.
Right.
So okay, this one here, I think this is just all about the game. T-Rex arms. It says build up yourself, build up your crew. But okay, I think it's this video game stuff. There's skeleton in the closet. That's what that means. So everybody's heard the saying if you got skeletons in your closet, everybody has them. That's, I guess, what that's for reference to. December 11th, 2021. This is right at the time when all that happened at the bottom of the Wells property. Dear Sarge, kicking ass in outer space. Wish you were here. Chips. I don't know. I think that's from Halo, the game Halo. Let's see. There's another one up here. Bear with me. There's a few of them. Okay, so does this reference anything about, is this real life? I was wondering. It says a red Jeep full of gang stalkers that passes my house 3 times a month. And then a belt of M855. I don't know if that's real life, if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Where was the good screenshot? There's more. Hold on, let me look at my pictures here on my phone because I screenshot them on there. There's one that I was really, really that bothered me a little bit because I knew what it meant when he posted. Okay. Oh, yeah, here you go. I might show them this way just on my camera because I don't know if I can find them. Maybe they're in here. Let's see if I can find these where it's okay. Yeah, here's one of them.
Right. Yeah, that one.
There, and then there is, you know what this is? Referring to eating butt, eating ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the red vicious eyes, and then you have, let's see here, and I mean this could be nothing. It might be going out on a limb, but it's weird. Now sheltered, we've always known that we felt like, or it's how is that portrayed? I'm gonna talk about it because
I mean, it just seems like they're sheltered children.
Yes, and who the ones that
just from looking in
act out and have the worst problems sometimes in life are ones that are, because they they rebel, right. There was one more I did. Oh, there's one that says I love vag. Can't find it's been removed.
That one those probably got removed because Crystal's Crime Time did a video that had those.
Yeah, they've been removed just since last night. So here I'll show you. That's where I took the screenshot. Let me take this down. And
if I'm not mistaken, I think there was some text messages that had something.
It's a unicorn, first of all, and that's everybody knows about the damn unicorn.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's that one. God, I burned that shirt. My son bought that thing at Walmart. He's like, "Daddy, like Deadpool." I was like, "Yeah, I'll wear it, buddy." Anyway, so here's this one. Let every man do what is right in his own eyes. And if y'all know what that means, with the tongue between the fingers.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're going to call out and you're going to go say that there's no reason to look into somebody. There's many. Okay?
Many.
And it probably wouldn't have got that far into it if it wouldn't have been for like I said again, the reaction to it, and you coming out and straight trying to bash, and it's not been just now. It's been a slow moving thing that she has tried to go after people that were looking into things.
Yeah.
Especially ones that had access to Beach Creek. You know, when you get down there, then it was like, well, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. They're lying about that. Then they're telling other people that yeah, it did. Why do that? Is that because, you know, what is the main thing that search and rescue don't want people like the family, if they think the family's involved, to be a part of the search, because then they can deflect the search from a certain area. So you go and tell people that are talking about that were out there on boots on the ground doing stuff that, hey, that didn't, what are you doing? You're trying to push them off to another area.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's how else am I supposed to take that?
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah. How else would you take that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not just saying, well, because I'm mad because JC did. I'm not mad at all. I just think it's weird. Now I'm really looking into that. I'm, you know, a year ago, would we have known even hardly anything? No, we were, you know, we got this opportunity to try to help. You know, I've said it multiple times. God, I should have been the last one, but I got that opportunity, and we got out there, and I've learned a lot, and from people that know a lot, and you know, taught us a lot very well. And now I'm, you know, my eyes are open to a lot of things, and I'm telling you, man, there's a lot more things that have come out of her mouth that are very misleading and you know, make you raise your eyebrows than certain other people that have said things.
Well, let me just throw this out there now. Early on in July, when Chris McDonough was putting out his videos, when he did the interview with Hunter and Allie and Leslie and Candace down at the lake, and then went up to the water park, or went up to the house.
Yeah.
And then was having all those phone calls with Dawn. Do you remember? Everybody, if you've been following this case, remembers how Dawn would adjust his story based upon what Chris McDonough was doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Chris McDonough would throw a curveball and talk about a totally different subject.
Yeah.
Now, who does that remind you of? Jody Sue is doing the exact same thing that Don Wells does.
Yeah. I even put that video out where, I don't know if you saw that, where, you know, I saw what Chris McDonough did when he asked him, what should the penalty be?
Yeah.
You know, and that is I didn't know that, you know, I wasn't privy to that till I watched that video that he's a psychologist say, it's how to find out if somebody is lying or covering for somebody or whatever. They will say, they will make, if you say, what should the punishment be to the person that did this when we find out? You want to put emphasis, like, where it's not if we find out, it's when we find out, because we're going to. You ask them that, and if they come answer you with a very minimal, you know, punishment to it, then, you know, it's a pretty good high factor or a good percentage that they're probably being dishonest.
Yep.
Because, you know, you say, well, you know, and we're talking about a missing child case. What do you think should happen to them? Most people are going to be like, I think they should be hung up by their toes and beat to death. And you know, you're going to say that. I don't care if I'm on TV or anything. I'm going to say, you know, I'm going to be raw about it. I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
He said he didn't think that they should even go to jail. Now, but then later on says that they should arrest every drug dealer around and question them until they say something. Don said that after that. So that's contradicting. But when he's on the hot seat being asked that by him, he he deflected and made it, well, I don't think there was other ones in that too. Like when he was even asked if I can't remember what everything was in that video, but there was multiple ones there, and that that really it said a lot to me, and that was just a couple months ago that I made that. But I saw what Chris McDonough was doing there, and I was like, okay. But does that mean that Don did anything with? No. But
No.
Does it mean that he's covering? Maybe.
Right.
Does it mean, yeah. And I've noticed this a lot too. It's been when he's asked, do you think Candace did anything about, or anything? He always stops and thinks for a while before he says anything. Now, does that mean he necessarily knows everything that happened, or does he even just question in his mind?
Right.
I don't know. Or does he even think that maybe somebody else? They were obviously close. Now, this is what...
And you got to look, too. Does he only know what Candace told him?
Mm-hmm.
Which could be completely different than what actually happened.
Right.
So you could have a scenario that Candace knows about, but Candace told Don a different scenario, probably, to keep her out of the heat from him.
Yeah.
Retaliation back from him. So
the
thing about it, it's the pattern of behavior with everybody down there.
Yeah.
And
the relationship between Jody Sue and them before the Whales and Jody Sue? Do you know about their relationship between them? Because like I said at the beginning of this, Candace, when we asked about, she had nothing but good things to say about Jody Sue.
Right.
Well, then, it was told that, I guess that they had transactions. That's all I'm going to say between each other. I don't know if that's quote unquote proof. I'm not going to say that. But, and then it even said too that it was that certain minors were able to go over there.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know. Is it because now and then it came out all of a sudden that she said Dawn was peeping Tom at her house. Well, if you had that big old dog up there, first floor, I mean, they ain't taking up for Dawn, but
that's what he just said.
Yeah, that's what you said. That big dog. But what about even to the? I'm kind of lost. We talked about this last night. Help me. Like with how did you run off that hill? Didn't she say he got in a white truck and sped off? Wasn't that the story of it? I can't remember. There's been so much different things said from that individual that I'm just saying, why run and get in a truck that you're going to be seen in when you can go right across the road, into the woods? I don't know. Just certain things haven't made sense to me. A lot of them, and I am questioning them now, and we're putting it on blast.
My biggest thing has been the getting in the creek to wash the scent off.
That's a lot. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And then, even in Fred Light, I don't know if you've heard about, or not Fred Light, Fred Hill, about this. So, he said that he saw Andy at 3:00 that day.
Right.
Come down that road. Now, so when Andy comes home the night Summer goes missing, Josie says that she told Andy, well, Summer's missing. He said, I already know. That's what they said. That's what Josie said now. Was that another way to push off? I don't know if Fred really saw him. There's things that Fred said that were accurate.
Yeah.
There's a lot that weren't. But I don't know. I know that obviously the person up on the hill that we're talking about now and her son and all that, I know that there's a lot of neighbors around there that I don't know. There's different opinions on her. So Sherfy Sr., what he say, he pulled a gun on her, but he also said he didn't know her.
Right.
We know that. I know that's not true. He then said he didn't know Dawn either, but then went into saying he knew, Summer was all here and there, and he had all these, working up on their property and doing. Right. Come on, man. This is the problem, and this is the main thing through it. Will we ever get to the truth? Will we ever get to the bottom of it when you have a whole group of people that have policed themselves pretty much for hundreds of years down there. They
Yep.
run their own, I don't know if it's something to do with like a missing child or somebody doing, would they even cover, would they go to the extent to cover somebody, cover for a family member for that? I hope not, but probably.
Well, a long time ago, and I saw somebody just put it in the chat just a little while ago. I think it was, I don't know if I can scroll back up. I think it was, they had an American flag for their Lady Rebel 76. She remembers when me and Dad were talking about this. And it came up in me and Dad's conversation. No one will know where Summer is until Beach Creek wants you to know.
Wow. Yeah.
And Jody Sue the other night in one of her streams was talking about the YouTubers, and she was flying off the handle, going off and everything. And she said, all the people down here want is for all these damn YouTubers to get out of here so that Beach Creek can do what Beach Creek does and carry on with it.
Yeah.
Now, what does Beach Creek do?
Right.
Beach Creek sweeps everything up under the damn rug because everybody's kin to everybody. Everybody's got something to hold over somebody else's head.
Takes 45 minutes for the law to get out there.
Yep.
Yeah. So
the law knows when they get there, they're not going to get a straight answer from nobody.
Yeah.
Because they know they're all going to lie. They know they're all kin. They know they're all on drugs. And that's what Beach Creek would love to happen, is for all this to settle down. They wish Summer would have went missing. End of story. She's gone. That's it. So that they could continue to carry on with their perverted behaviors,
right,
their drug use, their domestic violence, their child abuse, their neglect, everything.
But then you have big neighbors down there that are, I've met a few of them. This is what's strange to me, because then I've met a few of them that are kind of upstanding people that are, and now one people, and I'm referring to, weren't even from the area. They had moved in from another state. They have a really nice property down there and stuff. But, even them being how they were they knew about the area. They said, when, even Sheriff Loss, when he said they didn't really have a drug problem down here, they laughed. They were like, what? It was like, we wouldn't live here, but even a month before, well, they had lived there longer than that, but they said we hadn't lived here but a month and figured out how everything went.
Yeah.
So I believe you're right. I believe that even law enforcement, they might be like, look, we can't do nothing with them down there.
Yeah.
It's too much. And I remember what I was going to talk about. This is a very big point. So what was it said? So how was it said when Don came home from work, when he went past Ben Hill down to the shed at the bottom, who was the boys with down there? Not Jody Sue. Blue Roof Dawn. Yeah.
Blue Roof Dawn.
Blue Roof Dawn. So
yep.
At 6 o'clock, Jody Sue says she's on one side of the creek and the boys are on the other.
Right.
Down there. Don gets home what time?
6:30.
6:30. So, I mean, unless, I guess, that's what I'm trying to say. She's setting this out here publicly. Now, unless that, I guess that the boys were just going from neighbor to neighbor searching with them. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. So you're saying right here, so 6 o'clock is when she hears the scream initially on that report. She's there in the beginning. So later on, you're going to say it's going to be probably, 15, 20 minutes after they hear that before they're out there searching, right? Okay. So Dawn comes in around, was it 6:30 or 7? 6, I can't, 6:30, right. So, I mean, is she telling the truth about that? Because we know Don's saying in Blue Roof Dawn, he's one of the ones they say down there in that community that's a good guy.
Yeah.
Right.
He has a very good reputation down there. I believe him. Sorry. I do. I believe that guy. And he does, he hadn't been public or anything, but he has confirmed that's what happened. He was down there. So I wouldn't tend to go believe him because he does have a good reputation. He lives there. He has a nice, kind of property there. He really did care what did Candace and them say about them down there? They said they're good people. What did they say? They talked about him. That's where we know to believe it if they said it or something is what we were told.
Right.
See, they said
that they kind of kept a watch on
the area
because they would see every person that came down up and down.
They live at the very
Ben
house
Hill.
that turns down Ben Hill, so they keep an eye on anybody coming in and out.
Wait a minute. Gavel Geeks is saying Dawn did not get home at 6:30. Please correct that.
What time was it then? That's what I was asking. I don't know.
Well, see, didn't Dawn say that he got home at 5:30, but
That's right.
The cops were saying it was 6:30.
That's right.
But then, like Autumn Love said, the 911 calls were at
6:23 was that. That's right.
6:23 and 6:26. Yep.
Yeah.
So it would have been around 7, allegedly, whenever Dawn got home, if that.
But it's been put out there. We're just saying
it's been put out so many different
ways. So what is the exact time?
On Crystal's Crime Times video the other night, she even had Tiffany Marie was questioning Jody Sue about that timeline because Tiffany was like, well, wait, if this happened then, how could that have happened then? And Jody Sue was like, anyway. And Tiffany was like, she was even trying to get it straightened out because it wasn't working out in Tiffany's mind. But Tiffany just kind of like directed it to where it flowed in the way that it needed to flow to, quote unquote, protect Jody Sue.
I want somebody saying here, bros, Jody Sue heard scream at 4:42. Police call at 6:29. Dawn said, we'll play it real quick. Let me play the interview, and I don't have to worry about getting copyright stuff for playing it. WJHL, I signed a thing. They use my content, and I can use theirs. So,
there was also the thing about. Oh shoot, my brain just fried.
Dude, I've done it 30 times through this. I understand.
Yeah.
My brain blocking out. So it was about the time I think you were talking about her questioning on there, and then
there was her text messages.
Yeah.
For that day. Her text messages never say nothing. She's like, well, I can prove it when all this happened. And she shows the text messages between 4:30 and 4:39 when the scream happened. There's no text message to Andy that says anything was going on.
Right.
There was no text message to Andy about a car door being slammed. There was no text messages about, hey, I'm going to go help Candace hunt for Summer. She's missing. There was none of there was no text message saying I'm going to go down and take my pocketbook down and play in the flowers and wait on you to get home.
Squall said,
none of the events that she said that she could prove by her text messages proved anything because her conversation with Andy was just like, okay, heart, love you, see you then, be careful, blah, blah, blah. Just your normal generic, talks or whatever. Which, keep in mind, they say weeks leading up to Summer missing, Andy wasn't even staying there with her. Because in one of those text messages, she was like something about, are you coming to get me? Which, looking back at that now, that means he hadn't been coming over there before, but this, for some reason, he was coming over to get her.
Do you know what squall means by that? Jody Sue told Candace the Wells and Grandma were all inside when she heard the scream. Well, I know Jody Sue said she was inside the first time she heard it, and then
but
what it?
I was trying to figure out what squall was meaning. If she meant that she told Candace that Candace and Grandma were inside when she heard the scream.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Hang on just a second, and I'll read you what Squall sent me about that earlier. Let me go to my Discord right quick.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to pull up this video from WJHL and we'll go over it.
She typed it a lot. There's a lot more to it. but she can't type that in chat.
Right. Oh, okay.
Okay, she says, talking about the scream, Dawn told Mary Candace went to look for Summer in the basement when the neighbor heard the scream.
Oh.
That's what Dawn told Mary. Candace and Grandma have been adamant on not hearing a scream from the beginning.
Yeah.
People were asking Dawn to ask her if she was still in the house searching when Jody Sue Brown heard the scream. Candace told me, meaning Squall.
Sorry. Hold on, let me mute this. Go ahead.
Candace told me she didn't know where she was because she didn't hear it. Dawn was then asked if Candace was in the basement, would she have heard a scream? He said it was very unlikely. He believed Jody Sue heard the scream, even though Candace and Grandma didn't hear it. Jody Sue Brown told them she did not hear them outside when she heard the scream. She has also said it many times.
Sure. That's true. Huh. Okay. The unfounded, exactly. That's unfounded in the definition. Unfounded is no foundation, basis in fact.
And I think this may be the interview that you're getting ready to play right here. I played it over on my channel.
Yeah.
Ronnie Lawson says, my agents, the TBI and FBI, have questioned her multiple times and had not found it to be substantial to this investigation, or however he puts it.
Right.
I think it may be in this one right here you're fixing to play.
Yeah, and then another thing I want to point out too to listen to is Sheriff Lawson even tries to not come across as like pretty much calling them a liar, but
right.
Yeah, he does. And listen to the part where she's talking about searching with the boys. Just pay very close attention to what's being said. We'll play it multiple times if we have to.
Okay.
So, all right.
Mountains together, they can be described as sentinels which sit high over Ben Hill Road. The night Summer went missing, the neighbor swears that she and her 2 children heard a scream shortly before they joined the search for a now missing Summer Wells.
It's there, but you want to forget.
On the watch and hypervigilant. That's how Jody Sue Brown was the very day Summer Wells went missing.
There's no TV, no noise at all.
Jody Sue was in her cabin with her teenage kids, 19 and 14, waiting for anything.
We were kind of hyper alert because of property things that had happened the day before. So we were listening for noise. Everything was kind of quiet.
The sale brought a plethora of people to their door, confused about which piece of land was for sale, leading to a dispute of property lines.
While we were out at one point doing survey lines, and there was a flash of a car that went up Candace and Donnie's driveway.
Surveyor.
Something about it struck me wrong.
She and her family next heard a truck door slamming and dismissed it as their neighbors. The next sound was harder to justify. About an hour and a half before Summer is thought to go missing, Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard something far more suspicious. A scream.
Stopped all 3 of us cold.
Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all 3 were there, listening still.
We heard just this kind of shrill, almost animalistic scream.
Animalistic, but...
Hold on. I want to make... So, she did say, an hour and a half before. I don't want to say if I said that wrong, I was wrong. Okay, so I want to go back and hear that again. I want to make sure I didn't. Now the other thing, though, we'll just play it again. Let me go back real quick.
Not an animal.
Knew it was, wrong. While we were out at one point doing survey lines, and there was a flash of a car that went up Candace and Donnie's driveway. Something about it struck me wrong.
She and her family next heard a truck door slamming and dismissed it as their neighbors. The next sound was harder to justify. About an hour and a half before Summer is thought to go missing, Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard something far more suspicious. A scream.
Stopped all three of us cold.
Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all three were there, listening still.
We heard just this kind of shrill, almost animalistic scream.
Animalistic, but not an animal.
Knew it was, wrong. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't an animal.
That vigilance kicking into overdrive. Jody Sue and her son went out to look for the source of the scream.
My son and I decided to go out, look and see what we could see. We went back onto the bank. Didn't see anything. Didn't hear anything.
They went on with their evening. The kids returned to being kids. Jody Sue headed down her driveway around 6 to 10 to flowers.
And at this point, I start hearing Candace hollering for Summer. And then my brain immediately went, scream earlier, this, uh-oh.
Jody Sue was the first to hear those calls and the first to join the search for Summer.
I dropped my purse. I tried to yell up at Candace. I was like, I'm looking, and I started looking.
Jody Sue searched one side of a creek, Summer's brothers the opposite side.
And you gave statements to the police, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Jody Sue had been interviewed many times by investigators, bringing up the scream often. But the sheriff doesn't believe the scream is related to the disappearance of Summer Wells.
Wow.
She's been interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and FBI, and we don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this case.
Jody Sue wishes she could go back to just a short time before Summer disappeared and before the scream she believes was Summer.
Wish every day that when I heard that scream, I hadn't tried to dismiss it.
Referencing the work of the FBI, TBI, and his own deputies, Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson reiterated in an interview the same week as Jody Sue's that investigators have found absolutely no proof that an abduction has taken place in the Beach Creek community. Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
Look, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real right now. Okay, so after watching, a lot of things are now different to me watching that. So if the time, okay, so it's an hour and a half before. So she's at 6:23. Still 4:30, right?
Hour and a half.
Yeah,
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Right?
Okay. Is that no?
No, that would be about 5.
About 5. So, okay, I knew that. If I was wrong, I thought she said 6, but still, that's not.
In the beginning, she did say 6.
I thought she said 6 at the beginning.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I can't verify that. So we'll just leave that as what it is. But there's a lot more there that is speaking out to me after watching. Now that seeing how things have kind of went the past couple of days. Okay, Scott, you got anything before I go and talk about did you get anything out of that?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, when Ronnie Lawson talks about it, like Ansley Daniels says, multiple agents have interviewed her many times about the screen, and then it goes to Ronnie Lawson, and Ronnie says his agents, the TBI and the FBI, have found nothing about that complaint, basically, to be credible. So not only Hawkins County Sheriff, the TBI, and all those men and women that are trained at Quantico,
right,
and
the card team.
I'm imagining probably the card team.
Yeah, and I went over their whole what they do is on the FBI website. I pulled it up on the live, and the card team is their main thing is like abduction, going over stuff like that. They really are skilled in that, and for them to say that's I don't know, that speaks a lot now to me. I tried to be like, I thought it was just Lawson that said that.
Speaks volumes.
Yes, it really does. Because I thought that it was just Lawson that said that. Maybe they didn't get along, because right after this, Jody Sue, I have the message where I told her, she said, "F you, Lawson," something. She was
Right.
going off on him about it. That's fact. There's something, I don't know how y'all feel in the chat, but I'd like to get your opinion. Tell me how you feel. You can put a 1 if you think there's something there. I don't want to be the only one that thinks this, because I'm sure that just from the way that people, that people have been targeted and talked about and tried to be discredited and slandered. And
that's what I was going to say. I mean, from the beginning, we've been saying, how could they say that 3 people didn't hear what they say they heard?
That's what I said forever.
But after the reactions that we've seen the last few days, it kind of tells you why they said that.
And I guess she told Ansley, she said that the kids went back to being kids. We're talking about a grown 18-year-old.
19-year-old.
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 Yeah. And the other one is a teenager too.
Yeah.
There's not like they're going out to play outside. And she said that the girls weren't allowed to go with the boys.
Well, she said something now I don't know for a fact, but from what we were told by somebody, she referred to her daughter and Summer hanging out, I say that loosely, as a play date. Her daughter was 14 and Summer was 5.
Right. And he's 19 and the boys are
14-year-olds that want to have play dates with 5-year-olds.
And I don't know too many 19-year-olds that hang out with 13-year-olds.
And even younger.
And younger. I don't know. It's just
except Donald Wesley Wells III.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Except for Donald Wesley.
Yeah.
He was 19 and like 14-years-olds.
Yeah. Is that how old she was? I never knew. No.
I believe that's what they finally were able to figure out.
Yeah, that's now I would even said that, there's things with I even tried to give him the benefit out. I said, now if it was a girl, he's 19 and she's like 17, parents get mad and get him in trouble. That happens.
But
now that's
19
and 14. Come on.
Yeah.
A little much, bud. I don't know. So then the search thing bothers me too, about the boys being on one side. If she's the first one on the search too, okay, that's what she said.
Yeah,
first one out there on the search. So what made? That's when she goes down to the creek, washes the scent. What scent was she washing off her feet? What was it? It was said. Y'all, does anybody remember? I need to find all that, but look, I'm sorry. I have a hard time watching all those and going through that. I can't keep my attention.
When she mutes out.
I look at the screen. It's hard for me to really focus on chat, or I lose my train of thought with you.
Yeah.
Like
I do that. So when I watch some of her stuff, it's hard for me to go through. Like I cannot do it. I either fall asleep or I get up and do something else. So
Waltit sent us a video, and I want us to be able to watch this
before I play it.
Well, I don't know. It's from Shay's Safe Place.
I'll play it. It's fine. We'll where is it? I guess
it's talking about that, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Squall.
Shay's got some good stuff.
She does. Yeah, I got to talk to her for the first time the other day, man.
Yep, that's right. You were on there with us, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I haven't known too much about a lot of the people I've been able to talk to since then. That's good. This is good stuff that's happening right here tonight. Got 1,400 people, 1,469 people in the chat right now and watching this.
And it's been holding steady at 1,400 and some people.
Yeah. Yes, it has. It has. And look, this is good. Good stuff, and it's people that before that didn't get along, and this is there's been a lot of people tried to keep it that way, and they don't like when collaborations happen and stuff. But that's I don't care what they like.
Think that's what we need.
That's what we need, and that's what these cases need. And I will argue this to the very end that I don't know why in this case now they've said social media has caused the biggest problem, blah, blah, everything. Now, I'm sure it has to an extent. I'm sure it has. But there has been cases that have been solved because of social media. And there has been cases that where, well, look what Gray Hughes did. He helped solve one of the oldest
cases of a missing person in the United States.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's awesome stuff if it's done correctly. And you get rid of would you say earlier? The chaff and the wheat.
Yeah.
You have to when you weed out all the things and the distraction in the community of people that want the drama and the fighting and the putting people down and making it about themselves and what they want to see, then you can move to doing something progressive and something that might, we can take this true crime community and move it to something that might be very useful.
Well, what we're doing is we're taking those 1,463 people right there, and we're showing them, we're pointing them in the direction to where they can, with their own eyes and their own ears, see exactly where the misinformation is coming from, who's putting it out, and who's helping to spread it.
Messenger, Facebook.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go search exactly, Scott, and go ahead and talk about whatever you want to real quick. I'm gonna try to find that video that she just sent me and play it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna mute this real quick.
Here, I'll show you what it's called if you want to just do.
She's trying to tell me where it's at and everything, so I'll mute this real quick.
I just saw Squall in great big capital letters. She's screaming it from the rooftops. I will not stand down.
Shay's safe place. The dogs are the key. That's the video. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do it this way then. Be easier. Yeah, Squall. That's the truth. Like, it's not. She's been through this since the beginning too, and she'll be. I think that Squall will be the first one to admit, and I will too, that through this, it's taken time to really see this open up and kind of unfold, and it's the way. I don't know. I hope it doesn't go cold, and I hope that Beach Creek doesn't win with getting being able to brush, like you said, brush it under the rug. And I hope that maybe people will pay attention, and if that law enforcement is really going out there, I hope that they don't cover for one another to the point that they can't do anything. Maybe by this that we can point out things and find something that hasn't ever been seen before, because it all goes back to what happened on the 15th and maybe even up to the week leading up to it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, yeah.
That's where it's at. That's where all the important stuff is. Now, all this new stuff that even after, because that's when this happened. We're seeing this, and people are going to dismiss a month and a half after, people going up and creeping around. Now, yes, I know there's nosy ass people that were up there trying to look around that property. Probably, I don't know if they would, how many times they went up on that property. Well, Don said prior to that, people had stole his tools out of his shed up there. But even after, it's not like it was somebody they did, that was seen up there that wasn't, that wasn't familiar with there, just walking around the woods seeing what they could see. This is somebody that frequented that property. He was identified by not one but 5 people. Was it 5? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 people. Sorry, 6 people. You got her that was on here, her son-in-law, daughter-in-law, and then the other daughter. And then the other three and her 2 daughters. So you have 6 people saying against one, trying to discredit them, calling all 6 of them tweakers.
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I thought I closed myself out. I didn't do it. Okay. I do that all the time.
That happens ever.
Yeah, y'all see me just disappear off my own because I closed my own window out. All right. So what's that called again? The dog, their key?
Yeah. Go to Shay's safe place if you want to do it easy. Just do that.
Yeah, Shay, I appreciated talking to you the other day. If you're listening, she emailed me and said, "I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt. You weren't interrupting. We were all trying to talk and get our points out there. It's it's a lot, man. It's whoa, here it is. I found it. Hold on, let me start it over. Is there a certain point? Is there a timestamp?
Was when she sent it. I don't know if that's where she wanted us to watch from. Squall, if you could tell us if that's where you wanted us to watch from or the whole video. I don't know.
Yeah, it was sent to us like that. Maybe it's because I already watched it to that or something.
No,
I don't remember watching it. All right, here we go. How long? Well, it's only 9 minutes. We'll watch it.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was going to say, I know I watched it. I'll know it once it starts, I'm sure.
She said, I don't know where it starts. So let's just watch the.
We'll just watch it.
Shay, I hope you're okay with this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I might want to ask her that. Shay, are you in here? Are you cool with this? I'm sure she would be.
She said before, as long as you do it in a respectful way and don't trash her or her work or whatever, she's fine with anybody sharing it.
Yeah, we're standing behind it. So yeah, I'm on
maybe if your mods could drop her channel link in the
they will. I'm sure Natasha's probably already on top of it.
Did.
Yeah.
Make sure she gets credit and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, this is from Shay's Safe Place. If you guys aren't familiar with her, go check out her work. We're gonna play this 9 minutes, and I'm gonna mute out, and we might stop it if there's something important.
Yeah, I'll mute too. That way we get better sound.
Okay.
There's no sound on the video.
Yes, this is a recording between Tiffany Marie and
hear it
Jody
now?
Sue. I want you to listen to where the dog stopped. She actually talks with a little sense and not in circles, but listen to what she says.
And I think that's something she's picked up from me. And there is a thing to that, and I'll tell you about the sense if you'll just repeat what you just said.
Listen to what Jody says about the dogs.
No, it's probably not word for word because this was several months ago. Okay, well, actually, no, I have it. I'll pull it up right now. Hold on a second, Jody, so I know exactly where it is.
It's about the dogs. And the first day they were searching.
Because the dogs did mess up. The dogs messed up. And it was because of other dogs. But Candace and them were out there watching that. Candace and them were inside that point with police. That's why Dawn and them had no idea where the dogs stopped. That's why Kraken is wrong about it. That's why everybody's wrong about everything.
Of course they was wrong.
From Dawn who got it wrong because they weren't out there.
How about your dogs? Let's get to that.
I was standing there and the dogs stopped at my feet. And they stopped in a handful of piss because
the dogs stopped at your feet. They come down the driveway and stopped at your feet.
Holy shit.
They stopped the dogs, right? And the dogs continued on. But the dogs were trying to fight my dogs who were at my feet.
Why'd you have your dogs out?
And at the bottom. And we were all on the road. The neighbors, everybody else. The handler stops him. He's pissed. But honestly, the dogs kind of stopped themselves too. They're trying to.
Why didn't you put your dogs up, Jody
They're
Sue?
not the very best dogs. First ones we brought in, quite frankly.
Of course, you're saying that the first dogs is not the good dogs, that they're not the best dogs, because they stopped at your fucking feet. And then you say they fight your dogs. Well, why didn't you get your dogs to fuck up?
Hold on. Okay. So Joyce said they're not the best dogs. There was 60 different agencies searching with dogs. 60. Come on. Can y'all hear me? I hope. I went full screen with that. So I hope
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm just making sure that so there's 60 different searches with dogs. Yeah, so Gabble Geek said the dates were even wrong. Who said September? So now the other day on Tiffany's, I thought that it was early September or late August. I said that, but it was August 2nd, so I didn't know.
Last night, whenever we asked, we said August 3rd.
We said August 3rd last night, but it's August 2nd. So, and like again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. So she came on and verified that tonight. But still, let's keep on going. Yeah, why were your dogs out? And that bull mastiff don't get unchained is what I heard. That picture she was put at the very beginning of that bull mastiff, that's the kind of dog you're dealing with up there. Huge dogs. So All right, I'm gonna keep on playing this.
Huh?
But he said right then, he's like, all the dogs are messing up.
Good job, Jody Sue.
And
I've gone. You're good. Go ahead, Judy.
Go ahead, Jody. Tell it.
And the thing is that
Stumble.
it wasn't my dogs. It was all of the dogs,
But
right?
you said all the dogs
and
are
it
gone.
wasn't that the dogs were there right then at my feet. And I'm sorry, because search dogs, they don't try
The
to
dog.
fight other ones. They stay on task.
Yeah, well, the dog stopped at your feet. Wonder why.
Go out on the deck or the porch, please. What was happening was the amount of dogs that seeing them have, and then just ferals and all that. As they run around, right, in the property, they're carrying summer scent with them. And
Excuse
so,
me? Did you hear
what's
that?
happening is,
I heard it.
they're carrying summer
The dogs are carrying her scent.
and
Yep. Let's stumble a little bit, Jody.
dogs are, and then also, I guess that many dogs themselves was growing up the first month, right? Even though the dogs were on property at that time, still hadn't really returned or anything.
Hold on. I have a
Pathways.
search and rescue canine handler in the chat. She wants to come up. We're gonna bring her up, and we'll talk about this a little more as we watch this. Let me drop that link in the chat. And listen, just when you come up, before I bring you up, just mute out. We'll watch this, and then we'll get your intake, or maybe we'll do it that way. I think it'll be easier to talk about. We'll finish watching this, and then we'll talk about it. But here's the link.
Quality just said, this is getting good. Yeah, I'm fixing to go get a cup of coffee.
Lord have mercy. It is. My done about come out of my chair 3 times watching this while I was muted. I said, you hear that shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. Let's play the rest of it here.
Huh.
And that was the handler's issue.
But they first and stopped at your feet, Jody Sue, remember?
The others' beds and things were amazing. But I do know that that first dog, he was trying, he was giving it every, but he kept following a certain pathway and stuff, but it is
After
not
he
the
stopped
one
at your
that,
feet, right?
Dawn is offering out that now other creators are twitching on their panels talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Y'all for quiet, Tiffany.
But see here, Dawn asked me, Dawn and I were in conversation in the road, and Dawn looks at we're talking, and I assumed he knew because they were kind of giving him leeway. He was kind of coming and going a lot during the first day, but he, so I assumed, right? You assume a lot of things. I assumed he knew, and they were talking to him and whatever.
Let's talk about what you prayed about his reaction
with the dogs, right? And at least that first day, and the first one that was out before dark, and instead that was not the case because I tell Dawn where the dogs, and I point, and I showed him my finger. I'm like, well, went up this way and down this way, and then back here, and then they continued past us and all of us in the road and the 2 dogs and whatever.
Listen for what she prayed for.
And he was like, "Oh, really? Really?" And I told him, I was like, "But all of the dogs were screwing him up." And he was like, "What?" And he took that the way I prayed because I was like, "Well, they're
the way she prayed." Did you all hear that? Rewind it. Rewind it. He took that the way she prayed.
All in the dog's scent, right? It's screwing them up. And they've got summer scent on them. And he's like, "Oh, really? Whatever." And so then he took it, run to the internet with it, and been like, "Oh, well, it's the dog trail. It's this, it's that." And because he wasn't wrong, he was instantly telling that minute that I'd screwed up. I told him something he didn't know somehow on his own, which shocked me. Because
of course
I
it
was
did.
like, that's when the first hour or two things. How did he miss that? Not know about it? And then, I mean, he literally ran like he was on fire every time. You could tell that you giving him something he didn't know, right? And these basics that you think he knew. And he would literally just take off mid-conversation, and he would immediately run to YouTube. And I guess, because I didn't know what he was doing, he would take off. And then later on, I find out what he's done is he's run right to YouTube. And it's like, him taking the info right back to have something to talk to YouTube about. But he's wrong. And then here are all these little creators that are hanging out on one team because they're getting info from them that are wrong. And now they're putting out that info to 20, 30, 40, 60,
Because you told Dawn. You've been doing it from day one. You control the narrative, didn't you?
Right.
You sit right there.
So I attention to something
sit
really
right there.
quickly, and it doesn't have to do with anything we're talking about.
You
First off, we weren't getting our information from Dawn. We were very careful to not listen to Dawn about anything. It was the people that were on the ground doing stuff that we talked about stuff from. Now this is crazy. She was right about that though. So he's running from her and going on YouTube. She's saying it from her own mouth. What? I don't know. How much longer? We ain't got much. Hold on a second. We'll finish it.
sit right there. Down there at that road. You let the dogs fight your dogs. You should have had them in the pen. You controlled the narrative from day one. You, Jody Sue. The dogs stopped at your fucking feet. You said so yourself, and then got in a fight with your dog, and the other dog was mad, or the dog handler was mad. So what are you doing, Jody Sue? A lot of people got uncomfortable when you was talking about them damn dogs. The dog come down the driveway, the dog stopped at your feet, and then proceeded to get in trouble with your dog to fight. You're still a suspect. Everyone is still a suspect. I think you and Candace and somebody else maybe helped cover this up. You know you did. You know you did. You've been here from day one controlling the narrative also. It's not.
So I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to put out anything as speculation putting out yet. That's not what I'm about. But so we'll talk. I wonder if there's any more left in that. I don't think so. You guys can unmute if you want. So what? Yeah, I just want to be careful of that. Like I said, I'm not good. We're looking into it and we're calling out what's not right. And that was a good video about that. I hadn't heard that. So what did you say, Allie? You should put that in.
So I said it seems like the dog handler was mad at Jody Sue, so Jody Sue tried to discredit the dogs.
Yes, exactly. So, Adrian.
Yes.
I want your. Go ahead.
Okay, y'all got to give me a minute. I had not heard that, and my adrenaline right now is going so fast. Like, I had not heard that video, and literally, y'all, I could run a mile in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like okay, wait a minute. If I heard that right earlier, y'all said that Jody Sue washed her feet in that creek before the handlers ever got there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. Now she washed her feet. Now you've got a canine hitting on her feet.
Yeah.
After she's already washed her feet.
Yeah.
And you got a canine a SARS dog I have a canine. I have a Rottweiler that's 120 pounds. I can put her in a search and rescue, and I don't care if she comes up against a 180-pound Mastiff. She's not going to fight them. That's not what she's there to do.
Right.
Okay. So the fact that and I shouldn't even say this because I need to figure out how I need to word this.
No, well.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I need to because I was fixing to put a lot of my opinion in there because I'm ill right now. Y'all give me a minute. Like my adrenaline, I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. How do I say that? the fact that she washed her feet and then the canine hit on her feet and then the canine fought with the other dog is enough to tell me right there we should have stopped and said, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. If my dog that I just went on a rescue with a week ago had done that, I would have turned around to the sheriff's department and said, there's your person.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And I don't know. I'm not blaming Jody Sue. I don't know her. But I'm
You're
just
going
saying.
off what she's saying.
Yeah, I'm calling out what she's saying. If it
Yeah.
happened like she just said it did, as a SARS canine handler, I would have told the sheriff that's where you need to look.
Tell
And
everybody in the chat. Yeah, tell everybody in the chat what you do, so they're very clear on.
I have a search and rescue dog. I go out and search for missing people, just like Summer. I wasn't in the area, so that wasn't one I got called out. I used to work with a group, but I was involved in a car accident and got hurt a couple years ago, and so I really haven't been able to do it actively a lot. But I'm getting back in it, and I do it, for smaller groups if they need, just on a smaller scale. I don't do it every weekend now, because before I was going every weekend, and now I'm not. I just do it, when it's something local or somebody I can help locally. I try to keep it smaller. So that's what I do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But my dog has had all the search and rescue training. She's a SARS level 2. So she's had all that. I've had the training with her.
I was going to reach out to you, and I was waiting. Thought you said you were going to email one time.
I've just gotten busy, and I'm horrible about emailing. I'm horrible about emailing, but
email us now.
Okay.
Because there's some things we need to get you out there. So, we've been talking. Yeah. So,
I would love to help, and I'm going to be very, very honest at this point. I've told in many groups, I try to get involved because I've really researched this case and stuff, and I'd like to come help. I'd like to bring my dog. I'd like to come help. But I'm going to be real honest with you. If they had that many canines on that area, there ain't nothing my dog can do. And I'm just going to be honest, because those dogs were trained. I agree. I full wholeheartedly believe that. I believe they were the best around. And I promise you,
they came from multiple states.
Right. Yeah. That's the best of the best. My dog's not no better than those dogs. You see what I'm saying?
But I'm wondering, because we know the certain search areas there were.
Now, sir, if you've got certain search areas that wasn't really searched, or something like that, or you've got search areas that you want searched that wasn't searched, But if it's an area that they already put all them canines in, my dog ain't no better than those. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to come up there and say, oh, those people that work with the sheriff's department every weekend is not as good. I'm not about to say that. You know what I'm saying?
We've been trying to, and we've said that. I've been trying to say, look, the Wells property is, because people are saying they didn't search it. Those dogs were up there on 9 different occasions going. I thought it was 7, and then it was 9 going through the vehicles, everything.
The one thing that bothers me about this is my own opinion, and I've done a lot of research on this case. There's 2 things that bother me about it. The way the dogs were done when the canines got there, put in the vehicle. I don't really think they were handled right. That maybe should have been done a little bit more better, the Wells,
The Wells dogs?
Yeah. I think that should have been handled a little bit better. I think they would have got a better search, just a more accurate, or I feel they would have gotten just a more accurate from the beginning, and there would be no questions.
We were told that the majority of them, though, were, and I got to quote, the reason I'm putting this, I'm not trying to interrupt. We were told that the majority of them, because of all the noise from the tree company and stuff like that, were not there. And I'm sure they didn't pin up however many were there at that time to put, because now there was are getting ready to have puppies that stay up around the house. They were there when we went there first time. But I have a big question. So,
Mm-hmm.
is it true? Could the dogs be carrying her scent all over that property?
Yeah, yeah,
That can happen.
yeah. It's just like clothing. You know, I
But
mean,
would
you've
it be
seen
big enough? Would it be enough of one to be like that's what your scent your search dog would follow?
it would okay if say Summer had been laying on the dog and playing with the dog and laying. If
Right.
the dog had went down the trail for a little bit, yeah, you may have got the scent. But on a long distance, no, it would have faded.
Right.
See what I'm saying? It would have faded. So
And
yeah.
that's because my question kind of was like
Because the dog scent would have took over then. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And her scent would have faded off. So yeah. Maybe
What-
for a little bit, but not, you know.
What do you mean a little bit? Because we've got a legend footprint.
Maybe okay.
Yeah.
From the Wells property, what I've looked on Google Earth, maybe halfway down one of the dog trails.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Maybe 20 feet, 30, 40 feet,
Would
maybe.
that be if she had like immediately like just touched them, or how long would it have stayed on the dogs after she had played with them?
Hour, 30 minutes, hour.
Right. Depending on how the dog
Depending on how active the dog was.
Right.
Because when the dog, like me, when I first got on here, my adrenaline was pumping. Like I can imagine, you know, my pores were open. So, you know, I had more scent and aroma at that time. So it would all depend on how active the dog was.
Right.
You know, so that's really not a good. I mean, yeah, the dog could carry it for a little bit, but I don't think that would be a good, you know.
To alert on her feet though, that's
a big like, and I'm sorry, I'm not accusing, and it could be, there could be 10 reasons of why that dog did that. I was not there to visually see that.
Right.
So I cannot tell you.
That's fair.
That's fair. I can't, because I was not there visually to see that canine react to her feet. Every dog is trained just a little bit different. And because I was not there to see it, I can't tell you exactly why it did that. But with me knowing it did that, that would have been a big thing for me to have said, there's where you need to look.
Right.
And I'm just sorry. And it would have been anybody. Like, you know, and especially the whole thing, she washed her feet.
Yeah.
Even in water. Because we all know, we've all watched in the movies. How many movies have we watched where the guys get out of jail and they go through the water and the bloodhounds lose their scent? Think about it.
Okay.
And they're just in the water.
Sassy girl here, she's saying Jody Sue said she walked in the creek so she didn't disturb any scent. That's the dog. Maybe. Okay.
She walked in water. It's still
regardless. Yeah.
We've seen it in the movies, y'all. Come on, they play it all the time.
Yeah.
Same difference.
That's washing your feet off. If you're in
that's watching, yeah.
Right.
And there's mud in the bottom of the creek, y'all. You've walked in the creek. Y'all you went to the creek, lake, you know, there's mud. What does mud do? We have mud baths. They give women mud baths. They charge us lots of money for that.
Thank you, Sassy girl, for that. But I mean, that's what we're not trying to play on words. It's just she said it out of her mouth.
Right. And I am not accusing Jody Sue at all. But what I'm saying, from what I heard on that video of that dog hitting on her feet, that's some compelling evidence.
It is.
To me, out of all the evidence I know, which is not very much in this case, but in all the stuff I know about this case, that is the most compelling thing. And why have we not done more?
Right. And then that makes you wonder. Thank you, Robin in the Hood. So that makes you wonder too about, so if okay, I'm trying to say this.
Yeah.
If she, so her reaction through all this to come out with her son allegedly being up there, or you know whatever, and the reaction stuff, and then knowing that they went up there and questioned multiple times through that interview we played on the news. Now, and Sheriff Lawson said not only him, the feds, TBI, all that. There's probably a reason why they kept coming up there.
And they haven't questioned Candace multiple times, have they?
They have not. No, they have
But
not.
they've questioned Jody Sue and her kids multiple times.
Right.
Do y'all find that odd?
Let's talk about the gas station, Allison.
Do we? Oh, I don't know
Sounded
nothing about the
extremely
gas
odd.
station. Let's talk about it. Tell me. I don't know about
Okay,
the gas
so
station.
about the gas station here. The gas station. So there was reported that a gas station very close.
Uh-huh.
Not very close, but the ones that that they would frequent
In the area.
the one that would be close.
Yeah, it takes you 20 minutes to go to the gas station. I know.
Yeah.
I live out like that too. I get it.
So
yeah, I get it.
he was out there. This was reported by the person that worked there. Jody Sue came in there slamming doors and coolers around, saying, "I'm a suspect now." And
Yeah, they made me a suspect.
That's hearsay, but that's what they said.
And
And
I
I
told this a long time
told us a
ago.
long time ago.
No.
So, and
Wow.
that's a main point to this right now too. Is he says now Sheriff Law says we're no persons of interest, but everyone on that hill, everyone that you mentioned, Scott, everybody that we've talked, those are your suspects there. Suspects. So she hasn't ever has she made the claim that she's been cleared? Because I haven't heard that, and I haven't heard law enforcement say that.
She claims that she has. She just said in one of her just very recent streams this morning or yesterday, she said that, or maybe it was in Crystal's that she played, some older footage, but I saw it recently. She says that the TBI was there, the feds were there, and she said they volunteered it. I didn't ask. They volunteered it and said that I wasn't a suspect.
What?
They're not going to tell you like that.
No.
They're not. Scott, I got a question. I didn't know when you said earlier she was given the opportunity for a safe house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Because during a live stream that we were having during a marathon for Summer Wells Reward Fund to try to increase it, see if we could get somebody to talk, for money.
Yeah.
She was in the chat claiming that she needed help, was trying to escape a domestic violence situation that was endangering her and her children.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I stopped the topic that we were talking about on the live stream and, said, hey, we'll get your information. What can we do to help? So on and so forth. And just the people that I know, here locally from dealing with that kind of thing. Yeah.
I just was trying to make sure that it didn't have nothing to do with Summer's case of why she needed. Okay, that explains that. Like, because that is one piece I hadn't heard, and I come in late, and so I was making sure that she needed it for some other reason. It wasn't for the Wells case. Okay, that's cool. Because I had missed that. Okay.
Also, for the people here, while it's on my mind, I thought about it a while ago and forgot. I know some of the people have listened to Squall and I's live. I think it was before Cam and Shay came up. Anyway, they played part of an audio. This was on Justice for All. Mm-hmm. Justice for All was playing part of an audio from the last day of the marathon. Mm-hmm. We were on John QQ's channel, and Jody Sue came up there because we had her up, basically every day during the marathon. Chris McDonough came up there and interviewed Jody Sue. That audio is only the partial interview. Now, Michelle After Dark mentioned that on one of her videos these past couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her and everybody else that was in that chat that I was going to email Chris McDonough to see if he possibly had the entire interview because the beginning of the interview, Jody Sue asked, what is the probability of a peeping Tom doing that to Summer?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And Chris McDonough was like,
Red
red flag, that's almost a bingo card. Well, at that time, we were thinking about that Jody Sue was referring to Dawn being the peeper, even though her big guard dog never barked, but she could hear the gravel under Dawn's feet.
Right.
What she would seems now like she was doing was trying to find out what the consequences would be to cover for her son, who now has 5 eyewitnesses of him on the property running through the woods, enough someone before Summer went or after Summer went missing for the Wells to install an alarm system in their driveway so that they could be alerted when there was creepers in the woods.
That's right.
Oh my Lord.
Now, Chris McDonough responded. He had a show tonight on his channel, The Interview Room. After his show was over, I emailed Chris again just for a follow-up to see if he had the full interview. He responded back to me, he does not.
Oh God.
He said, what? Say that again.
He don't.
So I thanked him for it, and he said, I wish you well.
Oh man.
Keep going, stay the course. You're doing good, thank you.
Oh God.
So I was trying to get.
Somebody has it. I know somebody's got it, don't
God.
they? Did Tiffany have it?
I was thinking maybe Chris McDonough had, because he had the opportunity to actually speak to the Wells neighbor. Because you got to remember, this was August 16th or October 16th.
Yes. Okay.
The morning of October 16th, because it was the last day of the fundraiser, the marathon. And Chris was in the chat, had the opportunity. So we invited him up. Of course, who's not going to invite Chris up, because back in October, he was really doing, putting out a lot of information for us. So he came up because Jody Sue was on there. And I was thinking, okay, Chris, he's pretty invested in this case. Maybe he had, Dylan, his son or whatever, record at least that portion of him interviewing Jody Sue, not the whole time, but, at least that portion. But he said that he did not have it. So
I was going to add this. I actually have access to speak to a former investigator for the police, and I want to see if I can't get him up here, but if not, I'm going to try to get some questions.
Okay, hang on. Jen Grant and Kim Holmes. Jen Grant says, and not to be mean, Jen Grant or Kim Holmes, I'm not being mean at all. They're saying Tiffany recorded it from John Q. Yes, that's correct. And then Kim Holmes says Tiffany Marie has all of it. That is incorrect. Tiffany Marie has a portion of it.
Yeah, she told me she
That's
had
why after all this stuff started coming out about Jody Sue's son running through the woods and having eyewitnesses doing it from the Squall Tip and Ma's live that we did, I said, I'm going to see, because Squall Tip was the one that told me about that. She said, well, at the beginning of that interview, Jody Sue was asking about what would be the likelihood for a peeper. And he was like, bingo card.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm going to email Chris McDonough to see if I can get the full interview. And unfortunately, Tiffany does have a part of it, about an hour of it. Well, Justin, I know, has got an hour of it. But yeah, Connie Hilliker is saying, yes, that Tiffany knows she only has part of it.
Yeah, she tried to tell me when I was on her panel she had all of it, and that's what. And so I'm glad y'all said that. There's two questions. Go ahead.
Hey Cam, I want to say something really quick.
Okay.
I want y'all to know I listen to 4 YouTube channels about summer whales. All of my other research I have done just not on YouTube.
Right.
So I want, and my name's on here. So, and what I said about Jody Sue, I'm sure some people are gonna not like that, and I know it, you know, and that was my opinion. But I don't want nobody coming at me. Like, I've formed my opinion in my own Summer Wells case on the research, not on the YouTube. I listen to 4 YouTube channels. That's it. So I just want to put that. Don't come hate at me because I'm not a good person. I got a real bad temper, and I'll come back at you. So I'm not a good person to hate at.
A lot of the stuff, a lot of where you're,
you know,
the channel you're on, and the people that are in here, we try to back it all up with things we have to show you, and they can make their own.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean, I'm sorry I said that about Jody Sue, but as a canine handler, had I been at a search, had I been called on a search, and that had been me, and my dog had hit on her like that, I'm sorry. I would have tagged my dog up. I would have took her and put her in the cage in the truck, and then I would have walked to the nearest sheriff's deputy, and I would have said, that's where we need to start. And that's just what I would have done. And I'm sorry if it offends her or hurts her, but truth's the truth.
That's right.
And guys, it's time it comes out.
It is. It is.
Time it comes out.
Now, because of, and look, this is not to be blamed on anybody else first. So you go out and attack people on information and then try to divert it with a video from nighttime and say, this is it. That's people are going to look a little deeper. That's there. And now, because of that, more things are looking to light. Sorry, it's the way it is. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm sticking to my guns on this. And if I'm wrong at the end of it, so be it. But your son's not exempt from it, just like my son wouldn't be if I'm sorry. It's just the way it is, and
that's right.
We're right at 3 hours. I try to keep them kind of this longer than usual. I ever do keep so people can reference it. Send me your email, Adrian, and we'll talk more. Thank you for coming up because that's what it's about.
Thank you so much for letting me. I was sitting here dying for 2 hours screaming at the laptop. So thank y'all for letting me come up. I enjoyed it so much. Yeah. Y'all have a good night, and we'll talk soon.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
That's awesome. Guys, tonight's been very good. It's been very informative. I've learned. I sit here and learn with you sometimes. So, wow. Thank you, Scott, for coming up. Thank you, Squall, for being over. Thank you, John Q. Thank you, all the people. Shay's Safe Place, Voices for the Voiceless. She said she made a comment, and I meant to ask about it, but she said that would make me go to the water. Then you got to bring up the thing that law enforcement said someone wasn't in the water to Ventures with Purpose. I don't know why. So there's other places. I'm glad we were able to speak to her that maybe we can get a search dog out there in other places that maybe it's not law enforcement's fault. Sometimes people are people and they make mistakes. Sometimes investigator might be like, well, I don't think it's that direction. They go this direction. Well, then somebody else will pick up that case if it went cold years later and they go that direction that first one said wasn't anything there, and they find it. So it's many people working together. Let's all look. Let's all find something. I think we can do something. That's basically what I'm trying to say, and we see that happening. Scott, you want to say anything?
No, just thank you for letting me come up and share the panel with you. And
no problem.
Thanks for sharing the information and setting that interview up with that lady, especially since, Squall and I had talked about that there was a witness and, boom, you provide a witness right out there for us. I don't care where it comes from. As long as it's right, I don't care who it comes from. And for you to have that guest up, that young lady that was up there to to say, first of all, she or the other people aren't tweakers. You've got 5 witnesses in the broad daylight. 6.
Yeah.
With a positive ID. Just on that itself. And then we learned so much more about Jody Sue saying, was there footprints? Telling you, no, there's not footprints. And now we're just going on and on. You know, we've already talked about geologist Jody. We've already talked about dog handler Jody. You know, we've talked about Jody Googled this traditional old school. They're black, yellow, and red because way back in the sailor days, that's the only colors that they had to give the sailors, the old pirates and stuff, tattoos in. And I wanted to get an old school traditional because I just think they're a style of tattoo and I think they're really cool. So we proved a lot of her professions are ill-gotten.
Yeah.
And
look, nobody's here. We're not pointing blame. We're bringing out what information most people put out, or well, this person and this individual put out of her own mouth. We've listened to those things. Even if things were stated wrong, I made sure I even backed up on something. I said, well, no, we played the interview. That's what it's about. Say you're wrong when you're wrong. Say that. Let's get it done. Let's get some information. Maybe the police are, I'm hoping that they're watching this and watching other things, and maybe there is something to it. If there's not, oh well. But I mean, Summer deserves it. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely. I think TT has got one of the best sayings going out there. No summer, no peace.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
Lady R, yes, I do. Every time. Every single one of them. And I get hate for that too. Can you believe I have a prayer? But I will pray every time because that's what it's about. Pray for some. Pray for these families. Pray for others. We have a big issue in the United States. Have been for a long time. It ain't nothing new. It's just getting worse progressively.
Well, I'll drop down and I'll let you wrap up your show the way that you normally do. Thanks everybody in chat, and thanks for supporting Cam over here on his channel.
Yeah, y'all go check out Scott too.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Scott, again for coming up here. I think this was really good.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Allie. Thank you very much, man.
See you, bud.
All right, see you.
All right, guys. Look, that is amazing live.
It was.
Amazing.
If we do say so ourselves.
Yeah, and look I'm not patting us, I'm patting all of us.
Yeah.
It's good live.
Effort.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And the haters will sit, look, I can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to hear it tomorrow. Because I know what happened here was truthful. We tried to be factual with everything. We tried to show what we're backing up, what we're talking about. Everybody here has been a big person that's followed this case, I believe, in the chat watching. If you don't have radar up now, something's wrong. That's my opinion. Oh, well. Thank you, Brandy B. I appreciate you. Yes, that's true. It's been wonderful to see creators come together. Let's be kind of work together. That's right.
Exactly.
I appreciate each and every one of you. If I did not see your comments in the chat, I'm sorry. I was trying to keep my mind focused.
Right, and I really was trying to read as much as I could, but we were on a roll here, so.
Oh, thank you, John Q. He said, great live tonight at Cam, Allie, Adrian, Mr. Scott. Sorry I couldn't join your panel tonight, but nonetheless, job well done. Thank you, bro. Look, you can come up anytime.
Anytime.
Next interview with the other witnesses, I can't give you an exact time or date. It'll be soon, hopefully, God willing.
We'll try to get in touch with John Q and Squall and Scott, and we'll let all of them know kind of when that is. Yeah. And maybe we can all be here together for it.
We're gonna have an open panel for your guys' questions. Have some of you guys come up here talk where I haven't got to answer stuff.
Susan Cooper, this live's not going nowhere. You don't have to worry.
What'd they say?
Please leave it up.
We don't take nothing down. Everything we got I've never dirty deleted. Everything I've ever put out is in that we have put out is in that video section right there. All right, that's it. We'll close it out with prayer and we'll get out of here. All right. Dear Lord, thank you for letting people come together. Thank you for trying to find answers for Summer. And hopefully we can move on from this and do other cases and make a difference. Lord, thank you for the difference made in cases prior to this. Let us strive to move away from the drama and get some answers across. That maybe things come out that haven't ever been spoke of, and that the darkness is always lit up. Lord, we pray in your mighty name that you just change this world, and we can live in a safer place for our children to grow up. Lord, bless people that are here, and Lord, thank you for the search and rescue dog handler. Let there be, again, this difference made. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. I will always close on prayer because that's what's important. Is that it for you? You got anything?
I think that's all for now.
All right. Look, remember at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
That's right. All right. Y'all keep on cracking. I'm going to say it every time. Say, let's get cracking at the beginning and keep on cracking.
Touch DNA.
Oh, yeah. Before we get off here, yeah, you're going to say, keep on. We'll finish that. We're going to work on that. All right. I got to work on it. I'll work on it. All right. Please put your touch DNA on that like button. Show us some love that way.
Or the dislike button. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't get one or the other.
We don't care.
Show us something. All right. Y'all keep on cracking. God bless.
See ya. Maybe.
Not today. Not today, Satin. All right, there it is. There's the outro. Not the right one.